200 butterfly, and we're going to end it off with a really fast 800 freestyle relay here at the Betty Kelling Aquatic Center. We are your hosts, Jamaican Olympian and world record holder Ali Atkinson.
And Bahamian Olympian and national record holder from the Bahamas.
There we go.
There you go. I decided I'll be more positive today.
I like that. I like that. I like that. It has been a fantastic day, and we are so happy that you guys are here with us Monday morning for this session. The athletes are looking surprisingly positive in the third day.
Absolutely. I mean, I am excited for the racing today. I know I talked to a few swimmers down on the pool deck.
Yeah.
Very excited to see this morning's swims.
It is going to be a really great one, starting with a 1500 on the third day. It's going to be rough, but I have seen them prepping. It is kind of chilly in the morning, but I think with the last couple of days, they're used to the heat and the cold.
Yeah, it's definitely fluctuations of temperature, so making sure that you're staying safe with the jackets on when it is cold, and then making sure you're hydrating when it gets a little bit hotter.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of stuff going on, but you know what? I'm really excited for this start, and we're about to start very soon after this recap session. What a recap video. We have seen a lot of swims. You can see the excitement on these athletes. When they get their hands on the wall, they do the time they wanted to do, they got the points for their country, and it was such an elation last night.
So much excitement after everybody is tired. It was a long day, and to see that energy still pumping through.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
It has been 64 events so far. Starting on the block, it is event 65. The girls 13-17, I'm sorry, 1500 meter freestyle. They are combining, which I think is really great. That was the start in heat 1 of 2. Tonight we're going to see the finals, which is the top 10 tonight in finals, but it is mixed. So we have 13-14, 15-16 in this first heat 1. They're going to try and do a really fast time to get points on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks like we have 2 females that are 16 and 15 in this first heat, so they will be needing to go very fast if they're, or I guess, looking for a good time to podium tonight. And so really, we should know the results of that 13, 14, 1500 free after this morning. There's one more, a couple 14-year-olds that are going to be swimming this afternoon. Oh, Howdy Stout.
Howdy Stout. It's going to be an exciting race for them later tonight. They're going to have to put in a good time because we know Heidi already has the record from this morning. From last year. So she's sitting pretty comfy for that, already faster than her previous record from last year.
Wow.
And then we have Harper, same thing for her. She is the record holder for that 15-17 category. So tonight, it's basically they're going to have to go really fast to get a good position and go faster than the girls did this morning.
Absolutely. So I'm sure that they have it in their heads, knowing that they're racing for this afternoon as well, and not just who else is in the pool at the moment.
Yes, Isabella Myers is going to take that early lead for Barbados, but this event is close to 20 minutes. So we're going to go back and forth between the competition and just some information that we've accumulated for how many years we've been in the sport, and talking to the athletes here and seeing the differences between what it's like to swim in 2024 and what it's like to swim in the early 2000s.
I feel like you're calling me old.
I am older than you, so I've accepted my fate.
We also want to say thank you for the Dunkin' Donuts this morning. We got our coffee, so much appreciated.
Cheers. Oh man, starting out with a 1500 on day 3 is rough. It is rough, but I have spoken to a lot of athletes on the pool deck, and we have done so. We think it's just fatigue, right? It's the third day, everybody's tired. They've been going to bed really late and getting up early, but it's more than that. A lot of these guys are suffering from dehydration, the lack of hydrating themselves, not with just water, as you said yesterday, but electrolytes as well. And just the eating at a certain time, making sure that you're resting, and it's showing now in the third day.
Yes, absolutely. And I talked to a few of the coaches from different countries this morning, and they said that last night was a little bit easier getting everybody in bed and resting. So hopefully we're coming back a little bit fresher this morning. But we are just on day 3. We have another day here. So halfway through, these swimmers are going to probably be feeling the exhaustion here.
Indeed. It's interesting because we spoke to Layla last night from Bahamas, and she is only doing open water on that last day. But how many of these swimmers that we're seeing today in this 1500 will be swimming again in 2 more days?
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of these swimmers again in 2 days swimming that open water event. So 5 days of racing for them. Yes, a lot.
Because the 800 was that first day. Now they have the 1500, and then what a schedule. And it's very similar to how we swam, right? The coach says we need points in this event. You're like, okay, why not? Let's surprise ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as when we were talking to the Howard coach. You have the higher chances of getting into a college and being recruited if you are able to be versatile.
Yes.
So being able to swim a couple of different events as well as through different days.
Yeah.
Once you get to the conference championship level, those meets are long.
Yeah.
If you have the ability to be on a relay, that is so necessary for being able to get a scholarship to go to a lot of these schools.
Yes, and it's emotionally draining. Yeah. I feel like at the college level, you're so close to the girls for 4 years that from day 1, even though you're not physically swimming or physically tired, emotionally you're with them.
Absolutely.
By the last day, you're drained physically and emotionally.
I remember every year at conference, I would lose my voice. And it wasn't from my swimming.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm swimming, I'm calmer. I'm like, I got this. I know what I'm doing. But when my teammates are swimming, I'm like, let's go. So, it's being part of that team. I look back on those years just so fondly.
Yeah.
To know that I had the support of so many teammates that were just phenomenal.
Yeah. It has been really a fantastic ride, this 26 plus years for me. Like, I can look back and remember each decade differently and fondly, right? But starting at that CARIFTA, it really showed what a testament it is for the rest of my career if I can get out of one race, jump back in another, be extremely tired, and then the coach says, hey, Alia, we need you for this relay. And shutting down all my emotions and be, yes, sir. Yep. I am there.
Yeah, and I find that a lot of times those people that are on the relay and they're turned on and they're able to turn off their emotions and how they feel individually and be there for the team end up generally being leaders and captains of the team later on. Because it takes that kind of energy to be able to support other people.
Yeah.
Even though you're tired,
Yeah.
you shake it off.
Yeah.
I vividly remember NCAA is my senior year at Auburn. We're in Auburn, and I was the incoming champion in that 50 freestyle. I ended up coming third. Was really disappointed in my race, but I was also a team captain. So I shook it off. And I was like, let's go, girls. Let's get this. And I know a lot of those girls were kind of looking to me to be like, oh my gosh, if she's not having a good race, then that means we're not going to have a good race.
Yeah.
So just being able to turn it off and be like, this isn't about me.
It is extremely difficult to come out of yourself and know that you have all those emotions to work through, but you have to be positive and you have to be that captain for the team and move forward.
Absolutely.
And that's what CARIFTA does. We have their team leaders. We have these guys who are 16, 17, very young, that is put in this position with 11-year-olds.
Yep.
And talking to them and sharing their experience and said, look, I'm sorry you had a bad race. Let's learn from it and move on. We still have 2 more days.
Absolutely. Being able to just shake that off and support your team. Like you said, the 11-12s are looking up to those 15, 17. I've still talked to some of my Bahamian teammates that were 11, 12 when I was in that age group. And I remember fondly just watching them come in, just doe-eyed, so excited for what is to come for their careers.
Yeah.
And knowing that I'm phasing out and I want them to leave with a good relationship with them because I want them to enjoy their time while they're there as well.
Yeah. It is foresight, but looking back in my career, I rarely remember my actual swims at CARIFTA.
Yep.
What I remember is how I felt. I had a great time at this country. I made lots of friends in this country. And these are the things you want for your athletes. If they had a horrible championships or it was just filled with a lot of challenges, that's okay. But make sure they find something positive in this competition to go back and remember the sport fondly when they move forward.
Absolutely. I had somebody ask me this morning how many events I swam at my last CARIFTA, and I was like, I don't know. But I remember where we were, and I remember I couldn't tell you a single time.
Yeah.
I don't know anything, but I remember just being there as a part of a team.
Yeah.
And I knew going in, because at the time, the Bahamas team that was moving past CARIFTA wasn't that big. So I knew at the time, going forward, it would maybe be maximum 10 of us traveling to events. So really just embracing having a full squad and having fun with those people was just phenomenal.
Yeah. Back in the race, we do have 1, 2, 3 staying very close together. We have Isabella, Lestrade, and Sarah just really, they're trying to stay with each other.
Absolutely great race here between those 3. And we're talking about a mile. You're racing for close to 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. It is Lewis, Isabella, and Lestrade. And it's great because, yes, it is a long race. You don't want to swim it by yourself. So it's really nice to have a partner.
Yep. It is definitely, I think they're probably looking at each other and being like, okay, thank you for being here with me.
Yes.
While you train for your pace, like we've talked about in other races, it's still nice to have somebody that's next to you.
It's still nice.
So you know confidently, okay, I'm in a good spot.
Yes. And when you see yourself starting to fatigue, you can look beside them and be like, okay, they are not fatiguing. I can still go.
I can still do this.
Yeah. I remember.
I mean, the mile is a mental game.
I remember I did open water once in Barbados. And it was for a training camp. And I am very fearful of open water, especially when the water turns dark.
Yep.
So I started to sprint in the beginning. And I stayed up with all the distancers because I did not want to be left behind. I didn't want to be open water because you know those sharks like dark meat, and I did not want to be on the menu. I was right up there and it hurt, but my fear was so much stronger than the pain that I was feeling.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
That is one way. We each have our strategies.
I'm not going to do an open water with that strategy in mind.
Woo, I did not want to do that training, but we had to do it. Once again, it is college. And when the coach says do this, you're not really in a position to say, I'm not feeling that. I'm not going to do that.
No. The number of times that, even in practice, where the coaches tell a set, and I know that depending on what my face looks like, might affect other people. So I'm internally screaming, but my face is smiling because I'm like, okay, we're about to do 3100s.
Yeah.
I cannot do this, but I'm gonna smile.
Yeah.
Smile and wave.
Smile and wave, guys. Smile and wave.
I mean, I'm sure these milers are really just doing some of those insane training.
This is fantastic. And we are trying to rope in a Bahamian national.
Bajan.
Oh my goodness. I've been saying Bahamas so often this week. It's a good thing he's not here yet. It is Alex Silvers. We've spoken so much about his brother recently that it's great to have him here. He did an exhibition yesterday. He's trying to go for his next Olympics coming up. So we're going to hear from him. He is a distance specialist, so it would be really great for his insight, especially with Isabella Myers from Barbados in this competition. But it has been fantastic for this entire competition. I've spoken to some athletes and just really excited for all the stuff that's going on. It'd be really great if we can talk to him in this morning session, hopefully again tonight. I think it would be really great to put some insight into what we're doing. And these girls are holding strong. I can't imagine 11 minutes in and they're looking strong.
Absolutely.
Martinique.
It still could be anybody's race.
Wow.
We see Lestrade pulling away here a little bit, but we still have about 8 minutes left of racing.
Yes. Lestrade is definitely saying, all right, enough time. I've spent enough time with you guys, and I am going to secure my position and get my hand on the wall. She is 14, so she is 13-14, so she is racing with Heidi Stout later on, and she knows Heidi does an 18:05:06 on paper. So she has to get pretty close, possibly under that 19 mark, to even have a shot for a medal this afternoon.
Sorry, I was singing a little bit.
Yeah, and dancing. The coffee has hit everyone.
The coffee is coffeeing.
The coffee is coffeeing.
So we are going to be joined here with
a very special
guest, one of our 18 and over athletes, who is one of the few athletes that has chosen to continue swimming in a distance realm.
Yes, if you've been with us since day one, you've heard us talking about Caribbean being very strong in sprint and how we need to have more diversity, not just in freestyle, but in all strokes and all events. And here we are, 400, 800, 200. We are here with Mr. Sobers. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are yourself? Thank you.
Not too bad.
Thank you for having me on such short notice.
Indeed. I'm seeing some bling on those. Interesting choice.
So I'm assuming you were sitting with your parents about to cheer on your brother that is going to be swimming the 200 IM later. How has that been, being able to be at a CARIFTA Games with your brother who is just kind of coming into the CARIFTA Games?
It's very special. Like, that was one of the bigger things that when he first qualified, that I wanted to be here to cheer him on for his first medal and just experience the Caribbean Games with him. Because for me, this is the first time that both of us have been on a national team together. So it's definitely been a special experience, seeing him compete and having memories, flashbacks of my time at the CARIFTA Games.
We were wondering if you guys were brothers because the age difference is it's a lot.
Yeah.
But coming in, we saw him in that 200 free yesterday, and we were wondering, did you give him any advice? Did you give him a prep talk from a specialist to a specialist? Yeah,
just always working the fast turns, fast on the waters, and just making sure that second 100 that you give it all, because everyone's gonna be gunning to be touched number one, but because after the first 100 everyone's gonna be burnt out, but who wants it most touches first. So just keeping something in the tank for that last 100.
Yeah. When we spoke maybe 3 years ago, you were unsure if you were going to continue in the sport. I am very excited to see you here 3 years later, still going strong. What was the deciding factor for you to continue to swim?
So I did take a break just because I had finished graduated, and it was good to have a break from school and swimming, so to have a lot of extra time. But as time got on, I was well, I'm still young, still I'm healthy, so why not give it another try? Because the Olympic year, who doesn't love the Olympic year? So it was why not? And then the Bahamas is where it all started for me.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that CARIFTA was open, 18 and over, I was it has to be on my schedule.
Aww, look at that.
That is amazing. And how do you like the additions that they've done to the pool? I don't know if you remember what the pool used to look like, but this pool seems very fast. It doesn't feel fast.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And it's the Bahamas is so nice. It has a very special place in my heart, so I had to be here.
Will you be coming back for Bahamian Nationals?
Sure, if you fly me out, why not?
Good answer. Good answer. We definitely want you to come back tonight and just share a little bit more of your insight in this 1500. It's been a while since you swam one. I'm assuming you're kind of cut down a little bit on that distance. But you have your teammate, Isabella. She is holding strong from Barbados. How does it feel to know that, yes, you have branched out into that distance event, and now you're seeing the younger ones also just trying it out, even if they don't continue, but trying it out and accepting that challenge and be like, all right, let me try out a 1500 and see if this is what my future holds.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing for the younger ones to be branching out and doing various events. Like the 400 AM, the 1500, like those events are like, that brings like some versatility to your like caliber. Like, I think everyone should try one event one time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want everyone just to be stuck on the 100 free and the 50 free. Like, especially if you go off to college, like, you're not only gonna be swimming like your pet event like every meet. Like,
We did not ask him to say that, guys.
That is what our topic was during the smile.
Oh wow.
Amazing.
Okay, we have heard it.
Yeah, so just like bring like and having like different events all the time, like it makes you enjoy the sport more instead of just doing one event continuously every meet every year.
Yes.
Like it makes the sport more enjoyable.
I also feel like it's fun when, you know, maybe sometimes you're having a little bit of an off season and being able to just do an event that you don't normally do. You're not really caring about what the time is and getting yourself out of that like mental block sometimes that you have.
Yeah.
It's amazing to do. I mean, I used to swim the 200 IM not well, but I would do it so that I could get out of sprint freestyle and sprint butterfly just to have something else to do.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about the generational differences. We are older, but since you're a nice bridge in between the generation swimming now and us, what do you think are some of the differences that we've seen from the mentality of these athletes? It has changed.
Oh yeah, I would say when we were growing up, it was a lot more like, I would say like it was more like hardcore, like especially training.
Yes.
But I think this generation, they're more like accepting to the fun of it, of like they just want to like have fun. Like it's not more of like making these goals, making these like times. It's just like going out there and have fun. Whereas like for us, it was like more of like, okay, I need to like we were so like too technical about it. Whereas like this generation is just like, I've been training, I'm just gonna go here and have fun. And then like they see the results of it, and that's what keeps them going. And that's what I have noticed.
It's great to have that, but I also believe in a balance because I've spoken to so many athletes. And January comes, I'm like, oh, nice. What are your goals for this year? I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, why are you swimming? Like, what are you moving for? And they're like, I have no idea. I've never thought of it that way.
I think for one, a lot of them, they don't understand the opportunities that swimming can present for itself.
Yes.
Like in terms of college, in terms of like all the other aspects.
Yeah.
So like, I think a lot of them are just like training just because their parents got them into swimming, but just recognizing the many opportunities that comes from being in a sport like this.
Yeah.
Like just utilize that.
Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. That is the bell, so they have a 50 left to go in this 1500. Thank you so much. Any advice you want or a shout out to Barbados?
A shout out to Barbados Team 246. Shout out to all the islands. Like, I mean, we're all here. We all been grinding.
Yeah.
We all like share a common passion. So shout out to the Caribbean. Like, the CARIFTA Games is the stepping stone for what is to come in the future. So just keep on pushing. Keep on.
Have you been listening to our broadcast?
I think so.
No.
I feel like you're repeating everything that we've said, so that makes us feel better.
Right?
That it's not just us.
And guys, if you're listening, then you know that it's not just about what we're saying as older swimmers, but it's happening now with this generation for him as well. How old are you now?
25.
25. He's a youngin'.
Oh my God.
Youngin'. And so it's happening with him as well. So it is something that is very essential in sport. And so you have to take it very serious at a young age. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
We have a fantastic swim that just happened a while ago. Lestrade is going to take that win with a 19:03, very close to under that 19-second mark, but that's going to put her really great for tonight.
Absolutely, that 19:03, I mean, she has a potential to podium with that time.
Yes, yes. This afternoon we have Heidi, which we know is an 18:05, and then we have Madison with the 18:50, but there's Riley with that 18:55, and it is a third day. We spoke about how athletes are tired. We could see her getting that medal spot.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the difference of a couple of bad turns. really.
That is it.
You've got to have great
You're
turns.
right.
You think a mile, you have 20 minutes. You don't have to have perfect turns. That's where the difference is.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. Wow. We're going to move on for event 66, the girls 11-12, 200 meter IM.
Thank you, Alex, for joining us during the mile. If you'd like and you're bored this evening, we would love to have you again during the mile.
I'm actually leaving like right after the 100 free this morning.
In the morning?
Yeah. I'm a working man. I got to go back to work.
Oh. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah, I'm
sir.
leaving right after the prelims, so.
Okay, well, we're glad we got you on.
We are so
Thank
happy.
you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Best of luck to your younger brother later
Thank
on
you.
today.
Thank you.
Also want to make sure that we give a shout out for our 1500 sponsor, Women's Haven. We had her up here talking with us. Improve your wellness with certified organic products of Women Haven. Make the switch. Your body will thank you. We really appreciate her for sponsoring the teams.
And that is the start of the ladies 11-12 200 meter IM. Beautiful start for these ladies. We're going to see them really try and take out that butterfly leg really fast. Once again, we're seeing Alyssa Ferguson. We saw her win that 400 individual medley last night out in lane 4. She's going to try and take that out really fast. We have Skylar Smith in lane 5 and Taylor in lane 6 from Trinidad. But what is really exciting is that it is a third day, guys. It is a third day, and these ladies are not going to take it easy in the morning because they know they have to go really fast in the morning to get a spot tonight.
Right, we've got 2 heats of this, so basically 8 of these ladies will not be able to swim again. So we want to make sure that they want to make sure that they are getting into that final swim tonight.
Johnson in lane 8 definitely has that idea. She's going out really fast in that outside smoke, trying to get a good lead before we go into the breaststroke leg. But it is Skylar, Ferguson, and Taylor gonna push that lead as we go into the 100 mark. And it is Skylar Smith with a 1:18.24.
To see, we just saw 3 back-to-breast turns across the board.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and it's about the education. A lot of the times the US and the bigger countries, they come out with such new technology and education, and it takes a while for it to filter down to the Caribbean.
Absolutely. I didn't attempt a back-to-breast turn until I was in my junior year of college, and it was too late.
It was too late. It was too late.
My brain could not figure it out. I ended up in the other lane.
Oh my God. Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Oh my
Luckily,
word.
it was in practice, so it was okay, but yeah.
And this is why you practice it in practice and not in a competition. We have Skylar Smith taking that early. Oh, beautiful. She's going to try and move ahead of the rest of the pack, really extending her lead in that breaststroke. But it is Taylor and Ferguson that's going to try and catch her with the freestyle left to go.
Skylar turned at about a 2:07. Her entry time is a 2:44.
Ooh.
We might be looking at a best time here by her, depending on how much gas she has left in the tank going into the wall.
The rest of the pack is trying to catch Skylar. If they have it left in the tank, it definitely could happen. Taylor in lane 6 is trying to make her move. And it is Ferguson coming up in lane 4. It's going to be down to the touch.
Wow, look at that. Look at them.
Wow. We saw yesterday Ferguson with that incredible touch in the 400 IM and again in the relay. What a girl. She can finish strong no matter how tired she looks.
That was an amazing last 50 she had there, and just a little bit off of their entry times. But, I mean, again, they are tired. I am tired. Ali is tired, but they are the ones competing. And for them to be able to still have those strong finishes, that's the mental grit we love to see.
That is. It is a 4-second drop for Ferguson. Tyler did add a little bit, so we can see her definitely going faster tonight, hopefully challenging Allison in that last 5 meters. But we have one more heat to go.
Can we talk about the fact that this CARIFTA record, 2:27?
I want to talk about it.
2:27.
Wow.
That is a phenomenal 11-12 time.
Wow. I want to see her splits.
We have heat 2 on the blocks here, about to dive in.
Wow. That is the start of heat 2. And what we really love is that we can see the progression. Yes, 2:27.95 from 2010 by Tyler Martin is a fast time. But when you look at 13:14 and then 15:17, you see how we are getting faster as a whole. The entire Caribbean is getting faster.
Absolutely. Absolutely amazing that Michaela Lightbourne from 2008 still has, from 2007 has that 13:14 record, and then has the 15:17 record from 2008.
Yep.
She did go on to swim at Florida State and had a great career.
Yeah.
So definitely something for these ladies to be looking out for.
Out in 8:33.7, it is Antigua Anya. We've seen her multiple times already. She's definitely going to try and extend her lead, but it is Alert. alert in lane 6. That's trying to make her move in this backstroke leg.
I feel like I would have so much fun if my last name was Alert.
So much fun.
Alert.
Are you alert? I'm not going to try right now. I'm not. I will save you guys. But yes, I will have a lot of fun with that.
Warning, alert coming.
That'll be a good one. But it is Anya going to hold on for that top spot, turning with a 1:16.
Look at that back to breast turn again.
Wow.
Just really amazing.
It
wow,
is.
really across the board, I think everybody did that.
Yeah. It's a second and a half faster than we saw from that earlier heat, but it really depends on the breaststroke and the freestyle. How fast can they come back?
I mean, we saw it in the 400 IM yesterday.
Yeah.
The 200 IM has a little bit less margin for error, but still, if you don't have a strong breaststroke, a good 200 IM is very difficult to put together.
Very difficult. Here comes Alert. Are you on the alert? Lane 6. She's coming with a fantastic breaststroke. We saw her in that 100 breaststroke. We saw her in that freestyle, so you know she can bring it back. It was really just waiting the game for that first 100. And now she is trying to overtake Anya in this breaststroke leg.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of, will Anya have that gas to really come back here?
Oh, slow turns. But we can see that these ladies are tired, but they are not giving up. Oh, look at that freestyle from Anya. She is extending, and it's only 12 and a half in to that first 50.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks like Kia Alert there is a little bit tired.
Yeah.
You see that fatigue kind of when she turned on
Yeah.
both of them, really. But Anya said, no, I want to be the top seed.
Coming in, there is a race for that third position between Martinez from Trinidad and that outside smoke Jayla from Aruba. But Aruba is now moving into that fourth position, and it will be Anya coming in with a 2:44.69.
That is going to be a great final tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, across the board, we're looking at about 2:44.
Yeah.
In those across the top 3-4 swimmers. So.
Yeah. It would be fantastic if they can get under that 240 mark, and it could happen if they take out that first 100 just a bit quicker, and then we're going to see who has the energy in the last 100.
Absolutely. I mean, I think across the board, that's going to be a great race, and we're probably going to see a few changes in the leader, depending on whose race strategy is where.
Yeah. Next up, we do have the boys, event number 67, 11-12, 200-meter individual medley. They're getting ready behind the blocks. The meet record for this is a 2:20.24.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow. My best time in this event is a 2:14. But 11-12, when their bodies have not been developed yet, they are tiny little things. To go 2:40 is phenomenal.
And we have Sobers in this. We were just talking to his brother. He's back in the stands watching him now, cheering him on.
Wow. Wow. We've seen Sobers have a fantastic meet so far, getting medals in that 50 back and 100 back, that second place. He hasn't gotten that medal yet.
I'm sure.
That gold medal.
Looking at his entry time here at 2:36, there's one other entry faster than him, Christian Joseph, who we saw in the 400 IM.
Yes.
This is an opportunity for Sobers to really make his mark here, and look at him go.
It really is. When we saw Joseph in that 400 IM, his backstroke is his weaker stroke. And we know Sobers, his backstroke is his best stroke. So we can see him really try and get some distance ahead of Joseph and see if he can hold it.
Absolutely, and as we said earlier, I mean, the margin for error with a bad stroke is so much smaller in the 200 IM.
Yes.
You can't really afford to have a weak stroke.
Yeah. Coming up in lane 7 from Bermuda, it is Rory Shepherd.
Really beautiful backstroke there by Sobers. I mean,
Yeah.
smooth.
Same thing with Rory. Look how smooth he is on top of the water.
Great backstroke. Both of them just pulling away.
You know what I really love? In the water, you can see how they elongate their bodies. They look really massive in the water.
But they're tiny.
They're tiny, and that's what you want. You don't want to be wide where you have a lot of water pushing against you, but you want to be long. And that is what they're doing in that backstroke. That is what they're doing in this breaststroke as well, as Rory is trying to overtake Sobers.
But Sobers doesn't look like he's having any of it.
No. Not day 1, not day 2. Day 3 is his day.
Day 3. I mean, we talked about it, but like being versatile
Yes.
in swimming is great, but stamina.
Stop.
To
Physical
get through-
and mental stamina. Emotional as well.
Yeah, to get through this meet, sometimes your best event isn't until the last day.
It isn't. It isn't.
And you can't just save up until that.
Nope. Ooh, beautiful breaststroke for Ethan.
Wow.
To now catch up to Sobers.
Wow.
He's going to turn first. Sobers has him in his eye line, and he knows he's right beside him. Let's see if he has it in the tank to pull away from Ethan. But Rory still wants to be in that top 3 as he's going to challenge them in lane 7.
What an amazing race we have across the board. Sobers pretty dominant throughout the entire 200, but really got challenged in the backstroke and the breaststroke there.
He did. He did. But we're going to see a fantastic freestyle for him. Rory in lane 7 is catching up to
put
Ethan.
his head down.
I assume he's tired, but that stroke was a bit relaxed. More relaxed than I would have liked to see at the end of a 200 when you had 2 other people charging after you.
Again, it is just the prelims. You are just looking for a lane.
Yeah.
Really, with only 2 heats here, you can pretty much guarantee top 3 is probably...
As long as you get, yeah. It really is a great strategy, especially on that 3rd day when you want to conserve. It's a gamble, because I know some people who like to go hard in prelims, no matter what. But then you do have 3 more sessions to go.
Yep. I mean, we are not, I wouldn't even say we're over the hump yet. So.
No, not after this session is finished.
Yeah. So I think risky decision, but I mean, it worked out for him. Great swims, 239, 240, and 240.
Nice. Rory came at least 2 strokes behind the rest of them at that turn at the 150, and he caught up to Ethan from Trinidad. Wow. This is
2.
Unofficially, the fastest time is a 2:39.42 from Michael Sobers from Barbados in Heat 1.
We are looking at Joseph here in the center of the pool. We talked about him in the 400 IM last night. Can he turn that IM into a sprint?
I really hope so, because he trains with Simmons, hopefully, so he knows how Simmons swim. We know Simmons won that 50 back and 100 back last night, so you know he can bring it back. However, he was the butterflyer on that medley relay.
Yep.
So he has it all, essentially, if he can stay close to Joseph after this fly, and he is doing that. He's now going to try and overtake him. Joseph backstroke has picked up from last night.
Wow. What? That can't be the same swimmer.
Wow. He has less of that gallop than he did last night. He's smoother on top of the water. Look at that tempo.
So it's really just the transition in figuring out how to swim a strong 100 in his 400 IM.
Yes.
He clearly has the stroke for it.
Beautiful, Joseph. Look at that.
Amazing backstroke here by Joseph.
He is staying ahead of Simmons, who won the 50 and the 100 backstroke. Joseph Simmons turning second, and Sean from Curacao in that 3rd position.
Lane 2.
Lane 4.
I feel like there was a timing error just now because it looks like lane...
Yeah, it seems like something is a bit stuck.
Yeah, stuck.
Wow, Joseph is pulling ahead. Simmons is definitely trying to catch him because he knows once that freestyle hits, Joseph has a really great back end. But it is Sean from Curacao that's trying to hold in for that 3rd position. He has his eyes set on Simmons. Lovely.
Very dominant swim here by Joseph. I guess he answered that question. He can translate that 4 IM into a 200.
Yes, he did. 158.51 to turn for Joseph in lane 5.
That's about 4 seconds faster than we saw the turn at the 150 in the previous heat.
We did. Sobers will definitely have a lot on his plate tonight. And look at Joseph just extend his lead in this freestyle.
Wow.
And this is different than what we see from Sobers. He already knows he's going to make finals, and he is not letting up. He is sprinting into the wall.
You talk about the difference in race style and strategy.
Yes.
Joseph said, I'm not trying to conserve energy.
No.
Got it.
I want to show everyone what I can do.
Wow, 2:32.
2:32:31.
Best time based on if his entry time is his fastest time by 2 seconds there.
Wow. He seems happy. I think so. Wow.
7 seconds faster than Sobers.
Yes. Yes. It's going to be a race tonight because coming in second with a 2:37, it is Simmons. We could potentially see Bahamas again tonight on that podium. But if Sobers has something to say, he could definitely switch up that order. We have Sean coming in from Curacao in that third position with a 2:38.94. All 3 times were faster than he won.
Definitely a faster heat there. So then we have to ask the question, was that previous heat just kind of going off of each other?
Yeah.
And hoping that they were fast enough?
Yeah.
And we'll see a faster swim tonight. Was Sobers holding back a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm going to be excited for that one.
Luckily, there is not another heat. So we know that Sobers will make it in. That is the start of the girls 68, girls 13, 14, 200 meter IM. But it's not like track and field. Not because you come first or second, you're automatically in. It is based on time.
Yep. I have definitely seen some races where one heat thinks that they have it in the bag and they pace each other a little bit too slow, and maybe only 1 or 2 people make it in from that first heat. So you can't do that. As we are looking at these 13, 14 women, going to do a quick thank you to CFAL for their sponsorship of the 200 IM, providing stability, security, and integrity for our investors. Thank you for your sponsorship.
It is Toria from Barbados taking out that early lead in the butterfly. The rest of the pack is definitely going to try and catch her in this backstroke leg.
Looks like there might be a timing issue going on with lane 2 here. So we'll have to try and ignore that #1 spot here for timing-wise.
Riley Watson is going to try and make her move. You're going to see her. Ooh, she's going to be swimming the 1500 tonight. And there will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless there's a medal ceremony, she's going to have a back-to-back swim between that 1500 and this 200 individual medley if she makes it in tonight.
Wow. That is a dirty double.
That is a dirty double. Turning.
I mean, you're taking a mile into a sprint.
Yep, basically all 4 strokes. Like, it's great when you're into freestyle and your freestyle is warmed up, but now you have 3 others that you need to be awake for. Wow, turning with a 113, it is Riley, and she's trying to move away from the rest of the pack in this breaststroke. Really dominant swim for her between that backstroke and breaststroke leg.
And we talked about Riley earlier. She is at that 18:55. Yeah, we saw that 19:03 this morning. So what is Riley going to do? Is she going to push and try and podium in that mile and then turn around and do the 2 IM?
I mean, that's how you build character, isn't it? You can say, all right, I'm gonna find where my limit is, and when I reach it, I'm gonna break it.
That is one way.
That is one way. Riley is holding on for that top spot. There is a race between that outside lane. We have from Martinique. She is definitely saying, I want a space in finals. Outside smoke for her. She's swimming a fantastic race.
What a dominant first heat here by her.
Yeah. Beautiful, 2:36.83 for Riley from the Cayman Islands. Coming in that second position, it is outside smoke from Martinique with a 2:40.89. Coming in to secure third, it is Barbados' Tori. She led in that first 50, but she was able to still hold on, coming in with a 2:41 for that third position.
Really great swim by her there, dominated it. Sure, that's going to be back. It was a little bit slower than her entry time, but again, we know that she has the mile coming up this evening, and then she's going to do that again. Whew. I can understand a conservation of energy there.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard tonight.
I imagine only the mile medals will separate her, and then the ladies 11-12 2 IM final, men's 11-12, and that is it.
I don't know if they're going to wait and maybe do the medal ceremony.
I heard them saying that the relay medal ceremonies from last night are starting at 5:30.
She's not going to have that much time. And this is the start of Heat 2. In lane 5, you have Simmons from Barbados. You saw her win that 400 individual medley last night. lane 6 from St. Lucia. She has that 200 breaststroke, so look for her to take a charge in that third leg. And Alexandria in lane 7 from Jamaica, she had that 200 free. So if she's in a good spot, she could potentially race them down if she's close enough.
You know, I'm just now realizing I said the 200 IM is a sprint, but I refuse to call the 200 freestyle a sprint.
No, you're right, because 200 breaststroke is not a sprint.
No.
200 IM is a sprint. It is.
It's a sprint of all, it's a 50 of every stroke.
It's a 50. You still have to have that endurance, which is great, but you have to sprint that first 50.
You can't, there is not really a pacing of the 200 IM.
No.
All of 4 of the strokes have to be strong.
It's funny. So the splits are similar to what you would do in a 200. Maybe not for the butterfly, maybe not the backstroke, but it is very interesting because you see these girls, whatever their strengths are, they're going to take that out.
Yep.
As you can see right now, we're going to have Simmons turning first in lane 5 with a 112, a second faster than the previous heat.
I wish that we could do a side-by-side view of that back-to-breast turn versus watching somebody do a touch and turn.
Yeah.
The speed that you get from that turn.
Yes. But it's definitely, as you said, it's something you need to practice.
Yeah.
You can't just come into a competition and say, I got this.
Can't look at other girls doing it or other boys doing it and being like, I'm going to do that in the race.
Yeah.
You need to that is, you might end up in somebody else's lane and you get disqualified if you do that in the race.
You will definitely. We have Alexandria in lane 7 holding strong in that second position. She is being challenged by St. Lucia. Faith, you saw her win that 200 breaststroke, so she's going to try and make up some ground. And it is lane 3. Lane 3, Bermuda, Catherine. She says, I'm going to get into the mix. We're going to have these ladies. Ooh, Faith is going to turn for that second position, followed very closely by Alexandria and Catherine. It's up to the freestyle.
I mean, they are all very close here.
Wow. We knew that Simmons had the strength. I am shocked how far she is ahead in a 200, given she was so dominant in the 400. But in the 200 as well.
I mean, she's entered with a 230.
Yeah.
Looks like she is going to be a little bit off of that time, but still really a dominant swim this morning. Looks like she's turned off the speed a little bit towards the end, just getting her hand on the wall with a 235.
Yeah.
That is going to be the top seed.
Nice. We had that sprint from Alexandria. We knew that if she was in the right position, she could outrace anybody beside her, and she did that with a 239.38 to get second. Fantastic swim for her. And Faith Jeffrey from St. Lucia catching the rest of the field in that breaststroke leg. She ran the 200 breast, so you know she has that speed. But that freestyle, she was able to hold on for that third position with a 240.25.
So those times are official from the officials giving the thumbs up. So gonna be very interesting tonight with Riley Watson doing that mile first.
Ooh. Yes. Yes.
What a schedule.
That is the start of the next event. Boys, 13-14 200 meter individual medley. And you know, at one point when your body is moving, it's almost easier just to sustain and say, just keep on going, just keep on going, just keep on going, and rest when you're completely done.
Yep. I mean, who knows? She could have, I mean, if you're doing a mile, you have stamina. We know you have stamina, so she can get through that 2 IM strong and pivot. Great first 50 by Zachary Burke, 29.91.
29.91. Outside lane again, he is in lane 8. The rest of the pack will definitely have to try and catch him. They can't see him, but they're going to try and catch him.
I mean, really, they're not going to be able to see him. If they do the back-to-breast turn, probably won't see him until the freestyle, if he can continue to hold on. It does look like we have lane 5 pulling up on him here. Oh, Joe.
There it is. There it is. We saw him numerous times.
Yep.
We see his dominance, and we're going to see it again in this. Ooh, Burke is holding strong in lane 8. They're going to turn together with a 107.95.
Looks like Schwartz got him just a little bit potentially there. But still, really great, strong race by Burke out there in lane 8.
Joey is extending his lead, beautiful, but right beside him, we have Tariq from Barbados. He's trying to make his move. Beautiful long breaststroke for him.
Beautiful breaststroke by Joey there. Really strong there. He's able to really get some momentum in his pull.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like I know technical breaststroke, but it
No,
looks good.
Joey is looking good right on top of the water. You see the difference between him and Tariq in lane 4, a bit lower with the hands. If he can get his hands just a little bit closer to the surface, we're going to see a much smoother breaststroke for him later tonight. He's not there with the freestyle. His teammate in lane 8, Burke, is going to pass him. It looks like second and third is out of his reach. 25 left to go. I'm not sure if he's going to hold on, but it is Joey in that top spot. Burke coming into second. He is being challenged by Luke Hygo from Cayman for that third position. Ooh, what a race in that outside lane between 7 and 8. But it is Joey with a 2:25.12 for that top spot. Coming in second, beautiful Tariq with a 2:27.73. He held on that last 25. He saved up because he knew he was going to have that sprint in that last 25. Fantastic swim for him. And coming in third, it is Luke Higo with a 2:28.31. Nice.
Really great swim there by Joey. He knew his strengths and played into them. So really looking forward to that event tonight for him again. Anton Destang, record holder from last year, 2:13.02.
Yes. Wow. Yes. There's a reason these are records.
Yep. So we have Alejandro here from Trinidad and Tobago. He's entered with a 2:22 fastest speed right now.
Yeah. That is the start of heat 2. Ooh. Very nice.
This is going to be a great heat here, too. We have Connor Hutman out in lane 2. We've seen him have a great meet thus far.
Yes, yes. He's going to definitely try and bring it back home in that freestyle as well. We have Kai Radcliffe in lane 4 from Jamaica. He's going to have a breaststroke catch-up if he can get himself in a perfect spot. We could definitely see some change shifts right there with a 2:26.03 for him. But Alejandro with that
Connor Hutman
2:22.
turning first.
There it is.
At 29.7.
There it is. We saw him with that backstroke yesterday.
Yep.
So we knew he was going to go out fast. But it is Alejandro in lane 5, overtaking him in that first 25. He's going to pull away from the rest of the pack. In lane 7, we have Nolan Barrett from Jamaica trying to hold on for that third position. But if you have a weak backstroke, it's going to take a lot for that second 100 to try and catch up.
Absolutely. You can't really have a weak stroke in a 200 IM and be successful.
You can fake it, but you can only fake it for so much.
It's a little hard to do that.
1:03.6.
Wow. I mean, Connor is still in the conversation, so
wow.
Right there, I mean, that turn alone, he is back even, it looks like.
Yes, that is almost 3 seconds faster than our previous heat going out, and we know that because it's a 2:22.
Yeah, I mean, very strong swim from Alejandro here, but Connor Hutman is not giving up. He is right there.
Look at that breaststroke from Connor. You can see he's conserving his energy and really focusing on his glide. What that will do is that he's going to take less strokes, and hopefully his arms will be less tired at the end of this 200 for his freestyle. If it gets down to it, he will have potentially more energy coming back home. But we're going to see Alejandro turning first.
1:47.62. Previous heat we saw at a turn at a 1:53. They are really dominating.
Yep.
Gonna have really fast time across the board here if they are going to hold on, depending on what they decide to do technically here and if they shut it down.
It is David in right beside us in lane 6. He is 13, so this would be a really great swim. He is third coming in, but there it is. Connor going in strong. He has the energy. Look at him sprinting into the rest of the wall. Beautiful swim for him. Beautiful. Connor's going to stop the clock with a 2:21.75.
Wow. I mean, he was... 2:32 was his entry time.
If that is correct.
I'm sorry.
Beautiful swim.
An 11-second drop in a 200?
If that is correct. That is beautiful. And we're going to see him unofficially taking that top spot tonight. Not sure what happened with Alejandro, if he just decided, you know what, I'm in a good position. I'm just going to relax at the end of this, on this last 25.
Yeah, I mean, a 2:25 for him just now is still going to put him in a good spot.
Yeah.
Top seat from the first heat, or fastest from the first heat was a 2:25.1, so still a good swim. We are now into the women's 15-17 200 IM. Layla Brown in the middle entered with a 2:30.28. She is at the top of this category, so probably expecting a really great swim from her, but as we've seen in the other heats, you know, it's anybody's game.
Yeah. We saw Sarah Downing yesterday just swim a fantastic race, really pull it out in the last 25. So we're going to see if she can replicate that again today. But going out for that early speed, it is Shirley in lane 4. Nope.
Layla Brown in lane 5. Wow. Trinidad and Tobago, 30.8.
Look at that. Beautiful swim. Sarah's now going to try and overtake the rest of the pack with this breaststroke. Sorry, with this backstroke. I'm just ready for the breaststroke.
That doesn't look like breaststroke to me.
I am ready for breaststroke. I think it's because the 50 breast is coming up next.
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to shut up for the viewers during that because...
Oh man, it's the sprint, man. It's the sprint. You love it.
Alia can carry the 50 breaststroke and I will carry the 100 freestyle.
Love it. Love it. And it is Brownie from Trinidad going to hold on and turn first at this 100 with a 1:10.13.
I mean, we just saw it there. I said I wish that we could do a side-by-side demonstration of the back-to-breast turn. Lane 5 did a back-to-breast turn. Lane 4 did a open turn, if you will, and it cost her.
You could see it. You have more momentum going into the turn and for the pull-out, and really, the first stroke you have after your pull-out sets the tempo for the rest of your race.
It sure does, and you don't want to lose any of that free speed.
No. Wasted energy. We have Sarah Brown now catching up to Layla from Trinidad and Shirley from Jamaica right beside her. I'm not sure if they have enough to catch her in this breaststroke. It's going to be down to the freestyle, but they have to move if they're gonna.
Really strong swim across the board. I mean,
I wish that Brown could have a little bit more elongation in her stroke. But I mean, at this point, it really is just about survival and getting your hands on the wall.
Yep, I mean, they are tired, so really getting through this.
Beautiful stroke for Brown. Nice and easy. Look at that freestyle. It's effortless.
That is a beautiful freestyle.
Wow. You can see, because right beside her, you see Sarah picking up her tempo, and she's not catching her that quickly.
It's really interesting. Layla Brown almost does what the drill catch-up freestyle.
That's exactly what that looks like, yes. And you see Sarah just really trying to bring it in, and wow.
33,
wow.
54 by Layla, followed really closely by Sarah Dowden at a 2:34.69, about a second difference, and then 2:37 by Shirley.
Yeah. That's going to be a great race tonight. All Lila has to do this afternoon, if she's being challenged within the last 25, is pick up her tempo just a little bit in that freestyle, and we could see her really being a good place for medaling tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she really clearly has a dominant or strong back, flying back, and breaststrokes.
She was there. She was still in the mix.
So she really could have a fast race tonight if she's able to pick up that tempo a little bit.
Yes, definitely believe so. In the next heat, we've seen these names before. We have broad belts. We've seen her numerous times in the fly and the backstrokes. We have Ellie Shaw. We're going to see her really try and move in this breaststroke leg and catch up. And then Sullivan, Cayman. It could be Cayman again, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, Cayman Islands is really putting together a strong team. Sierra's entered with a 2:26. That's 4 seconds faster than the previous heat. So
definitely. And she saw that 2:33 in the previous heat. She knows what she has to do. She may not even... Oh. Lane 4, Caitlin Sullivan will not be swimming this event. She is a no-show. So it would be one Cayman Island swimmer, Sierra Broadbelt.
You know, we were talking late last night. We had a couple of last-minute scratches.
Yeah.
We do have to take into account that with fatigue can potentially bring injuries.
Yes.
So,
yes, and we saw that. Notably, we've spoken about her numerous times, Jillian Crooks. We did not see her. We saw her in the backstroke, and then we did not see her for the relay.
Yeah, I mean, especially in that 15-17 category, you do have to protect your body at a certain point. We talk about being able to push through, but sometimes you just have to make that decision with your coach that you're better off scratching.
Yeah. And even, we have 2 more days, yes. But then you have the entire year left. You need to make the right choices in April. We're in April now, for the rest of the year.
I cannot believe we're in April.
Happy April 1st, everyone.
And Easter Monday.
And Easter Monday. It is Sierra pulling away from the rest of the pack. She's going to turn with a 1:07.36.
Wow. I mean, Sierra is definitely going for it here. She didn't look at it and say, hey, they only went a 2:33.
Yeah.
Looks like she is really powering through this.
Yeah.
The record by Michaela Lightbourne is a 2:20. A 6-second drop by Sierra would be absolutely insane, but I wouldn't discount it.
I mean, if anything, she's looking pretty strong. She might just take it a little bit easy in that freestyle, and that might be good enough. But coming up beside her, as we said, it is Ellie Shaw trying to make her move from Antigua, trying to catch broad belt. Staying right beside her, it is Higgs from Bahamas trying to go with her.
Turning at a 154.40.
Nice.
The previous heat we saw turn at 157.43.
Yeah.
So 3 seconds ahead.
Nice.
Pretty strong 200 here, and it didn't really look like she was pushing that hard.
No, even in this freestyle, she's going to keep up her legs, keep that momentum, but her upper body, she's going through the motion. Nice freestyle for her. We're going to see Ellie Shaw trying to move up just a little bit to make sure that she has a good spot and a good lane tonight. 2:33 from our previous heat, and it's going to be
2:30.
Sierra Broadbelt, 2:30. Ellie Shaw just coming in for that second position with a 2:35.5. She's unofficially going to be in that third or fourth position. And coming in with Higgs from Bahamas. She's going to... We're going to check that.
I'm not sure if that is correct. Looks like maybe she didn't stop the clock correctly.
But the top two is, as far as our eyes, official for broad belt with a 2:30 and Ellie Shaw with a 2:35.
I don't trust my eyes really anymore, so it doesn't matter. Alia, take a look at this men's 15-17.
3 heats. 3 heats.
3 heats. We've got Anton Destang in lane 5, Will Sellers in lane 6 here in this first heat. We've seen some phenomenal swims out of them.
This is the start of heat 1 of 3 for event 71. The boys 15 and 17, 200-meter freestyle. We're gonna have no scratches in this event. We're good to go. We know Destang has a great fly. He has a great back. Have we seen his breaststroke? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
But he has a great freestyle. I mean, 75% of the race, we're going to see if that is a big factor, but he's going to...
Beautiful butterfly there, turning at a 26.59. Wow.
The record for this event from Patrick Groters is a 2:04.69. It's going to be interesting to see who's close to that tonight. Coming up, it is Caden from Virgin Islands in lane 4 that's trying to go with Destang, followed by Will Sells from Cayman.
I'm really interested to see Destang's breaststroke here. I don't think that we've seen it, so going to be really interested to see what this looks like. A lot of these gents, we will see them again in the 100 freestyle later on today.
Yeah, Destang was really conservative with his legs in that backstroke. Probably because of that 100 free later, he knows he's going to have to bring it if he wants to make finals.
Yeah.
But it is Destang holding strong out in front, followed very closely by Will and Caden.
Really strong brushstrokes here across the board.
Yeah.
Destang doesn't look like brushstroke is his strong suit.
No, he has a nice kick. He has a great glide with the kick, but upper body is slacking just a little bit. As you can see, Caden and Wells just really move on him. Look at that.
Wow, what a back end there we had by Sellers.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, Gleason.
Yeah, Caden is going to definitely try and take that lead. Sellers is like, this is my time. I'm going to try and get that top spot. But there it is. Anton is turning on the heat. 25 left to go, and we can see him picking up his tempo. The kick has accelerated.
Beautiful freestyle there by Destang to end this off.
You can see that mental switch. He's like, oh, all right, let me do enough.
I mean, there's 3 heats.
Yes.
2:14.68.
2:14.68.
And there are 3 heats here, so we saw Destang have a very narrow making it into the finals in the 100 backstroke yesterday. Didn't want to see that again.
Close call. Just came in on 8th by 0.4. Wow. Coming in for that second position, it is Caden holding on strong with a 2:15.69. And third, it is Will Sellers from Cayman with a 2:16.03. That was a fast first heat.
That was a very fast first heat. Hopefully heat 2 and heat 3 are paying attention to those times. We can't see any nobody can really go cautious here
Yeah.
if they want to make the final.
And this, sometimes you see, if you're in the last heat, you can see, okay, they're not going so slow. Maybe I can go a little faster. And you can kind of play around with it. But there is the opposite.
Yeah.
Everybody's going fast and you're like, oh no.
Yep.
Like, I can't go as slow as I previously thought.
Heat 2 behind the blocks. We've seen a lot of these names again already. Liam Carrington, we've seen have a really great swims. He's entered with a 2:10, about 4 seconds faster than the second seed in this heat, Brady Lewison. So I'm gonna suspect that we'll see Liam Carrington out ahead if he is gonna go hard.
Yeah.
Hopefully he saw that 2:14 and 2:16 for third.
Yeah.
And won't be taking any chances, but it looks like we have a very strong butterfly out of Brady Lewison.
Yeah, we saw him swim that 50 fly the other day. He did pretty well. He wanted to go better, but here he is with 27, taking it out very fast, a little bit slower than Desante, but he could have a great breaststroke, and that could make the difference. Coming up right beside him, we have Liam. We know he has a great backstroke, so he's going to try and catch Brady for this lead at the 100 mark.
That power.
Wow.
You know what I think about a good backstroke?
Yeah.
You know how, have you ever heard about how ducks, they look calm on top of the water, but their legs are moving?
Yes.
That's a good backstroke.
Yes. And you can see that.
Turning at 1:01.55.
Nice. He is now taking the lead. It's up to the breaststroke for Brady to try and catch Liam. But Liam is saying not today. He doesn't want to. Look at that breaststroke from Liam, keeping it really nice and long. But I love that he has picked up the tempo because he knows it's still a sprint.
Right, and you don't know where you are until you touch the wall. You don't know what your time looks like in comparison to everybody else. So
yes.
This is not the time to play a game of holding back.
Love lane 7, Paulo from Guadalupe. He is making his move in this breaststroke. He is passing Brady. He's going to turn second with a 50 left to go out in lane 7. It's down to the freestyle.
Really strong here on that breaststroke from
Guadalupe, yeah.
Guadalupe.
He has moved into that second position. He has his eyes set on Carrington. He wants to get a middle lane. He wants to make it into finals. Look at that acceleration. With 12 and a half left to go.
Really strong. I wish he would get off that lane line. Yes. He's helping Brady Lewison a little bit, probably pulling him along.
Nice.
13.
2:13 for Liam Carrington from Trinidad to take that top spot. In second position, it is Guadalupe. Paulo, nice job with a 2:15.22. And third position from Jamaica, Brady Lewison with a 2:16.06.
Wow. Third place in the previous heat was a 2:16.03. So that's top 6. Already. We have
if the last heat goes 2:14s, 2:15s, we could see a 2:16 not make it into finals.
We could see that third position not make it.
No.
Wow.
We have everybody in this heat. Wow, it's going to be a fast one. That is the start of heat 3 of 3 of the boys 15-17 200-meter individual medley. If you look back at heat 1 and 2, the top swimmers were both 15. Their first year in 15-17. What I love. So we've spoken about Daly. Not the sister who has a lot of records, but her younger brother. He's gotten second in that 100 backstroke. He got third in that 50 fly. And here he is, top seed in this 200 individual medley.
And he looks like he is not taking anything to chance. 26.73 in that first 50. Wow, what a strong butterfly.
Yeah.
Just as a viewer's note, in lane 9, that is Eric Gordillo. He is 24, so he's not really competing for a spot here, but we will see him. He is entered at a 2-minute flat, or 2-minute and 97. So
yeah,
probably going to see a pretty dominant swim out of him from lane 9.
Yeah. You know, these guys do swim outdoors, but I'm seeing a lot of people right on that lane line. And I'm wondering if it really is the sun that's just affecting that swim. 59.75 for Elijah. Wow.
Previous heats, we saw 101s.
Yes. He is not taking any chances because you know what? They are younger. They can bounce back, and he's seen them swim fantastic at finals. So he knows he needs to be in the middle lane to have a shot in that medal. His breaststroke isn't that bad. It looks like he has control of all 4 strokes. And it's going to be Daly in lane 5 taking control of this position for the 15-17 category. Once again, lane 9 is Exhibition. So he's going to be swimming in his own category.
So we have 1:38 by Daly to turn.
Wow. Look at that.
Absolutely dominating. 3 seconds faster than the previous heat at the 150 mark.
He is 8 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. After they're fighting for second and third, he is way out in front.
Elia, take a look at Marvin Johnson here. We know that he has a strong freestyle.
Look at that. Look at that.
He is pulling back up.
Anthony Zachary, we've seen his name. He's trying to hold off Marvin right beside him. We know Marvin has a fantastic back end, as you can see right now from his kicks. Is it going to be... Oh, you know, Marvin Johnson has a fantastic finish. I know you've seen it, but to come into the wall, have that undulation and swing that arm, we've seen him out-touch so many swimmers in the first 2 days.
He was a 2:16.97. That is, I can't wait to see the top 8 for that, because I'm going to go ahead and say it probably took under a 2:17 to make that final.
Yeah. This one was a little bit slower with the second and third. So we're going to see a 2:16 definitely make it in. Hopefully that Brady Lewison with a 2:16.0 slid into that position, followed by Will Sells maybe from heat 1. But the last heat was slower. So there
we had that 2:10 out of Daly, and then 6 seconds later,
that everybody else. And that's why it's important to go fast in that first heat, because you never know.
And then to look at a 2:10 and see how dominant Daly was.
Yeah.
Patrick Roeder's record 2:04.69.
Yeah. It's his he's 15-17, so this is his last year. Why not? I'm not gonna make a 15-year-old beat me. No.
We are now moving into Alia Atkinson's territory. 50 breaststroke getting ready behind us here on the blocks.
That is a start. Beautiful start from lane 5.
Wow, 0.66. It looks like reaction time.
We've seen minutes before. I'm wondering if it's our sister. But now we have a breaststroker. Beautiful. Trinidad Zara is definitely going to try and take her. Look at that tempo. Go, Zara. Simmons right beside her is definitely going to try and catch her. It is a 50.
Oh, gracious. This announcer booth is having some difficulties with their microphone, it seems.
It is not us, gentlemen. If you hear that noise, it is not us. Coming in for the touch. It's going to be really close. Beautiful extension into the wall for the win. And it is Zara from Trinidad with a 38.86.
39.25 by Barbados there. She had a great start and then just faded a little bit, but still had amazing tempo going into the wall. And then third place, Victoria from Cayman Islands at a 41.09. And there are 3 heats of this, Alia. So as we saw in that 200 IM, top 2 probably in a safe space, but you don't want to be third in these 50s.
You can't. As we just saw in the 200 IM, heat 1 probably got the most people into finals.
Absolutely.
This is heat 2 of 3. We've seen these names before. We have Isabella in lane 6. You saw her with a fantastic 200 breaststroke earlier in the competition. And we're going to see her switching that up and picking up her tempo. Oh, look at lane 7. Sienna Campbell from Bahamas. Look at her extension. Not only does she have a fast tempo, but you can see her back.
Wow.
Her head throw. You can see that undulation with her stroke.
Do you want to see a fast tempo in this?
Yes. It is a little bit different from Isabella, who is picking up her tempo. And you can see Sienna just fading just a little bit, but Isabella is...
What a dominant 50 breaststroke.
Oh my gosh. A 38.53 for Isabella. A fantastic race. She did do a lot of strokes. As she gets older, we're going to see her use more of her strength and hopefully bring down her tempo just a little bit and have more strength. But right now, at 11-12, if you can do that many and get to the wall, perfect.
Looking at the times from that first heat, Isabella will be top seed right now going into the third heat with a 38.53.
Yeah.
Can you catch water with that fast of tempo?
So that is the trick. As you get older, you're going to have to learn the difference between the 50, 100, and 200. And that is the biggest thing. You have to be able to catch the water, keep your tempo, and have enough to have elongation, glide, and a hip propulsion, and finish your kick.
I tell you what, that's why I prefer freestyle.
There it is. There it is. That's why I was so impressed with lane 7. She is 11. This is her first year. But Sienna Campbell from Bahamas had a really great stroke. She was able to do all of that. She did fatigue at the last 12 and a half, but that's experience.
You're looking for a lot of strength in that in that 50 breaststroke to be able to have that speed as well as catching a lot of water to move forward.
Yes.
And then again, we talked about it yesterday with the kick. You need to have a very powerful kick in a 50 breaststroke to be successful.
A lot of these athletes, they think it's a 50, so they really try and spin. And sometimes when you spin, you're not catching water and you're just wasting energy. And if you try and keep up with the tempo, then you're slipping with your kick. And so it's a hard balance. But if you can do it, then you can really have a great 50 breaststroke.
Ladies and gentlemen, warning, warning, we have an alert in lane 5. Oh no.
No.
Event number 72 to lane 2.
Oh man, Turks and Caicos disqualification there.
Number 3.
And for breaststroke, I mean, it is a 50, so we can't say it's a turn. Maybe it was a disqualification on the start or the finish.
Or the finish.
Yeah.
Potentially one-hand turn or a one-hand finish.
Yeah. There it is, Kia Alert. We saw her earlier today in that 200 individual medley. We're going to see her again in the 50 breaststroke.
Wow, look at that stroke.
Look at that. So if you see the difference between the last heat and this heat, Kia definitely has the tempo. I wish she could throw her head just a little bit more. If she does that, she can have her hips come up to the surface, which will help her to minimize her stroke. But right now, it is all tempo, and she is going for it.
Again, I'm not a breaststroke expert, but I think for lane 4, I'd like to see a little bit more forward momentum. It looks like when she's pulling,
you can see it
coming backwards a little bit.
She's kind of boxy on top, but coming in 38:01.
Wow.
Alert, the fastest time so far in the morning, almost under 38. Beautiful swim for her.
Beautiful swim, 39:04, second place. It is not often that you see a almost whole second.
A second.
In a 50.
Wow.
And then 40.53 for third. Don't think that is going to quite do it to make it into that final tonight.
If all ladies tonight are under 40, that bodes well for the Caribbean.
Very impressive swims there.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow,
what
wow.
A great swim by Kia Alert there with a 38.01.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Up next,
11-12, heat 1.
it is event 73, the boys 11-12 50-meter breaststroke.
I love it when they're right behind us and we can see just how tiny they are. But they're so powerful in the water.
So powerful. In lane 5, we have Joseph Christian. We just saw him in the 200 IM. Really dominant in breaststroke for the 200. We're going to see if he has that sprint.
That pull out a little bit, he pulled his body way high on that pull out. That's a waste of energy, but look at that speed. And then we have lane 3 lane 3 with Robinson is staying right there with him.
Look at Williams from Virgin Islands in lane 6. He is definitely trying to pick up his tempo, but watch. Where Williams, you can see him picking up his tempo, but he's not moving. That's what we mean by spinning.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. 36.29 for Christian.
What a great swim by him. Entered with a 37.41.
Are you surprised?
No.
Are you surprised?
No.
And it is 36.29 for Bahamas. Coming in that second position, it is Bahamas again. Robinson with a 37.71. And third, it is Williams from, it changed on me, 39.37 from St. Vincent.
Wow.
Wow.
What a dominant first 50 there. Not surprised by Joseph.
Ooh, up next we have Ethan. We saw him in that 200. He dominated in that breaststroke to catch up to the rest of the pack, but freestyle fell just a little bit behind. Now it's just a 50. Now it's breaststroke. And he is top speed. There was a little bit of movement on that start. Let's hope that they are okay. But coming in, we're going to look at lane 5 from Trinidad. Ethan's going to take that early lead. Aruba staying very close with him. What's really great is that we have Deshaun from St. Vincent in lane 6. We haven't seen that type of stroke in a really long time. We call it kind of like the snake when you get your hands out of the water.
Yep. I think lane 5 is showing what I feel like is a really powerful breaststroke. He's got tempo, but you can see that he is catching a lot of water.
You can see it for sure. And it hit 35.47.
And there we go.
Very close to his best time.
Maybe I do know something about breaststroke.
There you go.
Hosted by Ethan McMillan Cole of Trinidad and
Ethan from Trinidad, 35.47, coming in second. 37.41 from Aruba. They're going to make it in.
Wow.
Fantastic swim. And third from St. Vincent, 37.47 from Deshawn.
I mean, that first heat, we had a 36.29, 37.71.
Yeah.
So really just dominant second heat there.
Yeah.
Really going to be interested to see how that shakes out.
What I would love to see, that was a really great breaststroke for Ethan. For the 50, you do want to minimize your kick. You can't have such a wide kick because you need to be able to pick up your tempo, and the wider the kick, the slower it's going to be for your tempo.
It is a little bit difficult because you introduce a lot of drag if you have a big.
Correct.
Look at me.
There you go.
I'm going to come back and swim breaststroke.
I think so.
Negative.
April Fool.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see that.
This is event 74, the girls 13-14, 50-meter breaststroke.
Oh, I do have to say, my dad corrected me. Oh, she's not even in this heat. Kaylee Vanterpool, who was in lane 9, looks like she is not, or she is in the lane. No breath.
She's not breathing. Oh, there it is. There it is. She's doing a breathing pattern.
He corrected me and told me that Vanterpool is more common in the Caribbean. My fault.
There it is. There
I'm
it is.
sorry.
I need to speak to Vanterpool about this breathing pattern, but coming in, beautiful race. It's going to be very close down to the touch. Ooh, lane 2. That, they have not touched it. It's not lane 2.
37, 34 out of lane 6, Grenada.
Nice. And you can see the difference in that race between their strokes. Lane 4, 5, and 6. One had a tempo, one had a glide, and one was really using her hips to get to the wall.
We have 3 heats in this event, so
Yeah.
it is going to be very close to who's going to be able to make this final and who is going to be out. Top 3 was all sub 37 or 38 rather. Heat 2 in the water. Azania, who we spoke to yesterday, said she was very excited for this 50.
There she is. She said she fatigued just a little bit in that 100, but it's now a 50. It's a sprint. It's one shot.
Lane 5, I mean, amazing tempo she's got there.
Lane 6, Jeffrey, we saw her in that 200 breaststroke, and I am earlier today. We're going to see her try and switch it up. It is difficult for a 200 to switch it up for a 50.
It's a different stroke.
It's a different stroke, for sure. And we're going to see that by Osborne really moving ahead of the rest of the pack with her power alone. Beautiful for her. 36.13 for Osborne to get that top spot from Cayman. Coming in second, it is Jeffrey with 37.69. And third from Barbados, Harrison with a 39.23.
I don't think that that's going to make it. I mean, our first heat, we had 3 37s.
Yeah.
On Azania, 36.13, and then 37.69.
And we have one more heat to
That's
go.
5 people already.
Yep.
Azania Osborne, the Cayman Islands.
Wow.
In the hot seat right now.
I was speaking to some of the coaches, and Vanterpool, we saw her in the previous heat 1. They actually swim in the ocean. There is no
They don't have a pool.
in their country.
No excuses.
We've heard it before, guys. If you want to swim, you can. You can make it happen. There are ways. This is heat 3 of 3, the last heat of the girls' 13-14 50 breaststroke. Nice underwaters. Kind of long for lane 8. But coming in, it is a nice breaststroke from this heat.
I mean, look, they are even. I can't even really tell who is in the lead here. It looks like lane 6 is actually pulling away Kamaya Saunders from the Bahamas.
She knows.
Wow.
She's seen the last 2.
What a dominant in a
She knows
50.
she can't play around.
She is not messing around here out of lane 6. We are going to see her come in at a 35.14. Wow.
That looks like a best time by
Oh my
second.
God. 36.62 out of Threadgill, also from the Bahamas. And third, we have 37.72 from Eugene from Martinique.
We spoke already on that first day about how dominant Bahamas is in breaststroke events, and we're seeing it today. 1-2 in this heat. We're going to see both of them come back again tonight.
Elia, I think that 37.72 out of Martinique might be maybe 37.84 from the first heat.
Yeah. It's going to be close for sure.
That's going to be a really close race. I mean, 35.14. She was in a league of her own there, Saunders, at the end.
We can get somebody under that 35 and have 34, I think. Really nice. Really nice. And the two Bahamians are both 13. So it's their first year in 13-14.
Gentlemen, 13 and 14, heat 1.
The meet record for this event is a 30.41 by Isaac Bastian. We already said how Bahamas is so dominant in this breaststroke. This is the start of boys 13-14. Heat 1 of 2.
Very different strokes here. Lane, what is that? Lane 3 is not messing around.
No, we have lane 5, Aaron from Trinidad, cold thrust. He's really thrusting through the water right there. Look at that breaststroke. And you can see, when I talked about head position, you can see that with Aaron. As he comes up, he is throwing his head forward. What that does, it picks up your tempo and it forces your hips to come up. Beautiful touch for him.
I feel like that is not accurate. It looks like lane 2 is showing its first place.
He's still coming in. That's going to fix. I believe it was Aaron Colthrust with a 32.92. That's going to take that top spot.
And then it looks like a a tie, 33.36 out of lane 2, out of lane 3 and lane 6.
Alejandro, we saw him in that 200 IM. He's back again for this lovely sprint. There's only 2 heats. We're going to see them coming back later on tonight. Hopefully, we'll see how many from the heat 1 actually makes it in tonight. Coming up in lane 5, we have Kai Radcliffe, the top seed. We saw him in that 2 breast. He took it out so fast in that first 100.
Kind of scared me a little bit when watching that.
Just a bit. And he crashed towards the end.
We know he has the speed.
Yes, he's going to try and use it because he has not gotten his medal yet. Oh, lane 7 is going for it. It is David Singh. We saw him in that 200 IM making distance on that breaststroke. He's doing it again.
Wow. I mean,
beautiful breaststroke for David.
Kai Radcliffe is beautiful breaststroke by him, if I may say so.
So look at Kai. It is all power. He's getting nothing out of that. Look at that.
Forward.
Look at that. Wow. 32.36 for Kai Radcliffe. 32.89 for David Singh, coming into that second position from Bahamas. And third from Trinidad, Jaden Mills with a 34.10. The beautiful thing about breaststroke is that there are so many different strokes.
Yeah.
And between the 50, 100, and 200, there's different tempos and there's different strokes and techniques that you can do.
There's different ways to do it.
Yes. Kai definitely went with power and strength. In the 50, that can work. But if David Singh is close enough to him this afternoon, David with his beautiful elongation could touch him out. Kai really needs to work on elongating his stroke, especially in that last 5 meters, to ensure that he gets his hands on the wall first.
15-17, heat 1.
We have 15-17 getting on the block here for heat 1.
The record for this event is once again Bahamas. Gibbs, we're going to see her hopefully in the next
heat 2.
There it is.
But we have Ellie Shaw, who we just saw swim. We know that she's got a good breaststroke, so. Yep. Wow, look at lane number 4. Such a low breaststroke there.
It is, it is. Once she enters the water, you can see she just flattens herself really great, but her head never goes under the water at all.
You don't want to waste a whole lot of time going up and down.
Yes, yes. Coming in, and it is Ellie Shaw to take the win with a 34.01. El Shaw. The good thing about this is that, yes, she can transfer from that 200 into the 50. In the 200, her stroke is nice and long, and she has more of that undulation, but in the 50, it's kind of missed. Her head barely goes under the water. You're seeing less of that head propulsion. But that was a great time, 34:01.
Great swim. So we are going to see the CARIFTA record holder here in this next heat, Rashika Gibbs out of the Bahamas. 32:29 is her entry time. I mean,
Ellie Shaw has a time of 32:73. If she's close enough to Gibbs,
that is going to be a really great race.
and what's funny, I believe Gibbs is a lot taller than her. So if they're close together,
That'll be
height alone.
really cool to see. Held them a little bit long there on that start. And at 50, it makes me so nervous.
Lane 6 is Tyler. We spoke to her last night. She was so excited for her 50 breaststroke today. Oh, beautiful, Tyler. You can see the difference between Gibbs and Tyler. So right here, Gibbs is missing a lot with the kick. You can see from her stroke to the kick, there's a hesitation.
Yep.
Tyler, once she reaches up, her upper body, her kick is right there. And what you want to do, as soon as you load, once you finish the kick, your body is in a streamlined position. So your glide is unhindered. Ooh, beautiful.
32:98. 98. What a swim by Ranishka Gibbs. I'm sorry.
That's why I just say Gibbs.
My apologies.
What a race. What a race. That is fantastic.
32:29 is the record.
Yeah.
We might see her re-break that tonight.
Beautiful swim for them. It was really close, but I think it really was the strength of Gibbs in that last 12 and a half that really was the deciding factor.
Right. I mean, we looked at Tyla, and she has a great stroke.
Yeah.
But there might be a little bit of a miss in her strength in that pull.
Yes. She has the undulation. She has the hip action with the kick. Maybe just a little bit more strength. And we saw that with Gibbs.
17, heat 1.
We have 3 heats of this 15, 17, 50 breaststroke. There is no messing around.
Lane 5, Gavin, 30.27. We saw him in that 1500. No, that 400 individual medley. He swam in heat 1 by himself, with that, not by himself, but he did a 500, really far ahead of the rest of the race. Coming in now and doing a 50, completely different distance, but he's got that sprint.
I mean, in this age group, 15, 17, woo, wow, 30.67.
30.67 for Gavin.
Nice.
To be able to do a 400 IM and then pull it back to a 50.
That is beautiful. There's only 5 guys that go 50 and 1 that goes under that 30. Sorry, 5 guys that go 30 and 1 that goes under that 30-second mark.
I was gonna say, I hope nobody goes 50 seconds.
I didn't even catch it. Wonderful time for Gavin in heat 1 from Aruba. That 30.67 will bode well going into the finals.
Heat 2, diving into the water.
What's really great, we spoke about some of the athletes that have done the 800, are doing the 1500, and we'll see them in the open water. In lane 7, Benjamin Davis, he's doing the 50 breast, but he's also an open water specialist.
Wow. That, I mean, that is insane.
In the middle of the pool, there is a race. It's gonna be stroke for stroke. Look at that.
Lane 6 and lane 5, neither one is, it's gonna come down to the finish.
Hayden Wells from Bahamas, 30.48. Coming in second is Liam Roberts from Trinidad with a 30.53. And third, it is Joshua Ross from Barbados with a 31.10.
I will be a broken record. You need to have a good finish. That's what it came down to there.
That's what it came down to. Look at that. Look at that.
Hayden decided to go straight in, and Liam decided to take another stroke, and that was the difference.
The last part, you could see Liam shortening his kick to increase his tempo. And when you don't have the kick into the wall, you're not gonna force yourself into the wall to outtouch anybody. You need to have both. This is the final heat,
And
heat 3
30.48
of the boys 15-17 50 breaststroke.
The center line.
We haven't seen anybody go under that 30-second mark yet, but we have Dirks from Aruba. He is the top seed with a 28.53.
He is going really fast. He has a really high breaststroke.
Yeah.
In comparison to lane 4 right next to him that has a little bit lower of a breaststroke, but it looks like his strength
Look at that.
and power.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. 28.96.
Yes. That's all I can say, Dirks. Dirks from Aruba, 28.96. You know he's going after Bastian's record this afternoon.
29.97 by second place from Hepburn. What a swim.
Take a look at that third. Bermuda, Elijah Daly. We saw him dominate in that 200 individual medley. We haven't seen him in a breaststroke event, so we were wondering. But look at that, 30.22.
Yeah, I mean, that was the fastest by far.
Yeah.
All 3 of those, they're going to be top 3.
Beautiful.
If my calculations are correct
I
here.
believe so.
Wow. Top 3 out of that last heat. Just one heat of the ladies 50 or 18 and over breaststroke here.
Daly medaled in the
Wait, men. This is men.
Oh,
Ladies decided to not do a prelim swim.
I was so shocked. I thought there was another heat. That is the men, event 79, boys 18 and over, 50-meter breaststroke.
And I would be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsor for this 50 breaststroke, the Connery Foundation. So excited for their partnership with Let's Swim Bahamas, as well as making sure they are conserving our oceans here in the Bahamas.
Thompson in lane 5 from Bahamas is going to go out for that early lead. His sea time, 28.85. We're going to see him right on that, but he's going to be close by Gadsden right beside him, and it is a 29.11 for Thompson from Bahamas. Coming in second, it is Bahamas again with Gadsden with a 29.65. Third, it is Bahamas. I am really glad 18 and over is not giving points to the total tally.
Joshua Murray, I knew him when he was a baby. I had to talk to his dad, and I was like, that can't be your son.
That can't be, because Joshua is 22.
Philip Davis, our Prime Minister, he has been so supportive.
Wow.
You want to know why the Bahamas is so great and dominant in the Caribbean, especially as far as their
If you're
support?
listening to what the announcer is saying, Ariana is going to fill you in about what is going on.
Thank you.
The Prime Minister of the Bahamas has come out to CARIFTA to support the team. You know, it is just phenomenal to feel the support of our government here.
We've had numerous ministers over the last couple of days come and have interviews with us and talk about how great it is for Bahamas swimming to be on the map and really rival Bahamas athletics.
Yep. Yep. So here we go. This is my baby, Alia. 100 freestyle.
You love it. You love it.
The 100 freestyle is such a mental
We spoke about the 200 free and how you have to have a strategy. It's not really a sprint, but it kind of is. This 100 is a sprint.
It is a sprint. It is all out. I don't know if this is scientifically accurate, but I have been told that the 100 freestyle results in the most lactic acid buildup out of all of the races, because you're asking your muscles to do full tilt.
I could believe that. 100%.
By the end of the 100 freestyle, your lungs are screaming at you.
Yes.
How dare you do this to me?
Yeah.
Turning first in lane 5, we have Zara from Trinidad and Tobago at a 30.60.
Beautiful. Indeed, backstroke, yes, they have oxygen right in front of them, but they also said, like you said yesterday, they have a breathing pattern. Butterfly, you have that rhythm. Breaststroke, you have that rhythm, but freestyle, it is all out.
All gas, no brakes, just, man, I had a love-hate relationship with this race. Mostly hate.
Look at that race at the end of this 100. Ooh.
Wow,
Look at that.
103 from Seymour out of the Bahamas to win that first heat. There are 3 heats of this, so
Zara coming into that second position with a 103.39. And I'm telling you, man, Ferguson can get her hands on the wall. Ferguson coming in third with a 105.21 for Bahamas.
She was entered with a 107. I mean, what is going on?
Oh, man. And we've spoken before how dominant Bahamas is. Yes, they are not winning every event, but they are in the finals. If not one, there are two. If they're not one person on the medal ceremony, it's two.
And really at the CARIFTA Games and any sort of team championship, it's not necessarily about who's winning. It's depth.
Yes. 100%.
You need multiple people.
100%.
Second heat now diving into the water. Wow, a very long underwater by lane 6. 50 freestyle is really, I know we talk a lot about underwaters.
Yeah.
If you don't have a strong underwater in 100 freestyle, you are better off coming up. You do not want to slow down any way, shape, or form.
Yes, we always say that underwater is faster, but there is a disadvantage if you're not fast underwater.
Turning first in lane 5, we have Anya from Antigua, 31.5.
Look at Aruba. Lane 6 and 7. Crows and Derva is definitely trying to go with Anya. They're going to try and overtake her with 25 left to go in this race.
I used to hate, my hate part of the 100 freestyle came, I don't have back end speed. My front end was my strength.
That's your go-to.
So I would just have to hold on to everything I had and watch people catch me, and it was so frustrating.
Oh.
105.47 by Anya, so she was able to hold on to that lead she gained, but a little bit slower than our first heat. And third place was a 105.29 by Ferguson from the Bahamas. So,
wow,
they might be at risk in that heat.
Definitely. Look at that, 105, 105, 105.
105.53 and 105.91 for third.
That's going to be a close one.
And the scoreboard stands according to the referee, the deciding heat.
Alert, alert, alert.
A warning, alert. Has she swum everything?
Yes, she has. 200 IM.
50 breaths. 100 free.
Ciao. Beautiful. Look at that.
Great start across the board there. Oh my gosh, lane 7. I love that freestyle. Reagan from the Virgin Islands. Great high elbow there. She's missing it a little bit on the back end.
It looks like her left arm is going in and crossing over just a little bit.
You do not want that, because that is going to result in a wiggling freestyle. But oh my gosh, of course, alert, turning 29.89. Holy bajoli.
Alert, go, just go. Lane 7, you can see Regan trying to get back into that mix. Wow.
Very dominant here by Kia Alert.
You know, she was so dominant in that 2 IM, so dominant in that 50 breaks. You wonder what her best event is when she's so dominant in all of these events.
All of them.
All of them. You gotta love 11, 12.
All of them.
Look at that.
And into the wall.
Beautiful.
Alert. 103 flat.
That is a best time in the morning after her third event on day 3.
Wow. Second place, looks like the clock is malfunctioning a little bit here, so we have Reagan at 104.90.
Beautiful race for these guys. It looks like those 105s are going to be close.
I mean, we had 103, 104. First heat, we had 103, 103, and 105.
Yeah. The rest of it's going to be filled in with those fast, and that's what it means to get your hand on the wall. It doesn't matter if you're second or first in that heat. You have to look at all 3 heats.
I really think looking at those results, we are only going to have one of those ladies from Heat 2 in that final.
Ooh. And it was so close.
Maybe 2 of them. I'm not quite sure.
That is a start whistle for event 81. The boys 11, 12, 100-meter freestyle. Look at that record.
Oh my. Dylan.
And that is Heat 1 of 2.
We have Sobers again in this 100 freestyle. Winterall again. These 11-12s are workhorses.
Yes, they are.
What can't they do?
And that's when you do it. That's when you challenge them. That's when you build the stamina to say, hey, when you get older, it's going to get difficult.
Yeah.
But you can do it because you've already done it.
Beautiful freestyle by Javen from Aruba, turning first at 29.33.
Look at him. Lovely, nice, calm on top of the water. Even though it is 100, that is a lovely stroke. He's being challenged with sobers right beside him.
So what I was talking about in that previous heat with the women, they weren't finishing quite all the way to the back.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're catching all of the water
Yeah.
that you can.
Yeah.
That's where the propulsion comes from. Your kick isn't really pushing you forward as
Yeah.
much as your arms
Yeah.
and catching that water.
Yeah. Ooh, good touch.
A minute flat by Wenderdahl, or I'm sorry, a
Yes.
minute point
4.5. Nice. We saw Sobers trying to make a charge in that second 50, but it was not enough. 101.49, still a great time for him for his second event of this morning session.
And third place, we have 104.84 by Cayman Islands McLean.
Yeah.
There are only 2 heats here, so pretty safe being in third, I think.
Look at the next heat.
I know. I saw it.
Lane 5, we have Joseph, 58.90.
2 seconds ahead of the next person in his heat.
Wow.
This
Wow.
is his third event,
Yes. Yes.
so we will see what he does here, but we have Harold Simmons. He's had a great meet as well. We have Arush from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Great meet.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm interested to see. Ooh, beautiful stroke from Arush in lane 4. He just missed out on a medal yesterday, coming 4th. He wants it this time.
I need for Joseph to put his head down.
You know, I really thought with the backstroke change this morning in the IM that we were going to see something different with the freestyle. But if you look at Arush and Joseph, you see the difference and you see what we mean about that head position.
29.64 by Joseph to turn first, but it's really a tight race. He's pulling away a little bit from Arush.
Yeah.
Here, he's just wasting so much energy by lifting his head up as much as he does. Actually,
Right
now that
on
he's
that
getting
lane.
tired, he's put it down.
That's what he did at the end of the 200.
That's what we need
His stroke
the
got
whole
better
time.
at the end of the 200 once he got fatigued.
What on earth?
Oh my word, he's gonna be close to, ooh, 100.15. Beautiful swim for Christian Joseph, his third event of the day.
And Harold Simmons, second place with
There
a
it is.
101.29. And
Arush.
third, 102.95.
Arush went out with him for that first 50. He faded a little bit, 2 seconds actually away from Christian. If we can see him coming back strong tonight, we could definitely have him on that podium.
We might see top 4 from that race into the final this evening.
It was
Potentially
really-
even
yeah.
5th. I
Yeah.
didn't get what third place was, but it was a 104. So,
Ooh, the wind is picking up.
oh,
I hope our set is good for today. Look at that. The wind is going in the opposite direction, so we're gonna see these ladies on the second 50 have that lovely pull from that wind, pushing them forward.
you need it on the second 50.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be into the wind on the second 50. That is the start of the 13-14 women's 100 freestyle. There are 3 heats, so again, you have to get your hand on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
57.99.
Yeah. Meet record from Emily McDonald from Jamaica. Nice.
Look
swim
at
from these
lane.
ladies.
What is that, 7
Yeah.
from Aruba? Oh,
Eva
Eva.
Pot.
Yep.
Wow, we have Skylar Richards. We saw her yesterday. Multiple gold medalists here at
29.94.
this competition already. She knows she's in heat 1. She's in lane 4, so she's not the top seed in this heat. She has to go fast to make it into finals tonight. There she is coming in. She is being challenged by Martinique Delphine right beside her. She needs to be able to at least win this heat if she has a shot of making it into finals. Delphine has to stay very close, but she might get out-touched.
101.46 is our first
Nice.
finish
Nice.
there. 102 for second place.
Such a close finish for third between Aruba, 104.00 and 104.09 for Martinique.
I hope that is not the difference.
That's going to be very close. 2 more heats left to go.
We have Jaya Simmons from Barbados in lane 5 with a 59. Our first entry under that minute mark. Is she going to go out and show everybody what she's got here?
I think so. That was the start. She won that 400 IM yesterday. We saw her in that 200 IM today being dominant.
Great underwater there by lane 4, Catherine Whitten. She showed what it means to be able to have a good underwater and still come up really fast.
Yes. It's great that you can see the difference, especially between the age groups. 11, 12, you learn so much that you can perfect it when you reach 13, 14.
Yeah, I feel like coaches preach underwater, underwater, underwater. But if it's not your fastest suit, you might be better off. Turning first out of lane 5, 29:63 it looks like.
Yes. She is under a minute, the only one in this heat. So she has to come back in a 30 low if she wants to see that, but it might be a minute if she keeps up this tempo.
I think we're looking probably at a minute here for the prelim swim. If she came back in a 30 point, I would be impressed.
Woo! She does have that 400 IM, so you know she has that stamina.
Endurance, yeah.
Coming in, it's going to be pretty close, probably a 101, 101.38 for Simmons from Barbados. Coming in second, it is Catherine from Bermuda with a 103.73. And coming in third, very close, Eva from Cayman with a 103.89.
Wow.
This is a faster heat.
Fourth, 104.07. I mean,
the 104s from the previous heat won't make it. Given the last heat, we have Heidi Stout with a 58.4. She could potentially pull the rest of the heat to go extremely fast. Heidi Stout in lane 5. We've heard her all the way throughout this entire competition. Beside her is Alexandra Kogel. We saw her in that 200 free. She went out super fast. We're going to see her again. It's only 100.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Heidi Stout can do a 1500 and then 100 at a 58.43.
Yep.
Just.
She has that 1500 record. She's going to want to look at this 100 record as well. She is pretty close to breaking it.
Look at that freestyle. I think I said this yesterday. I can't remember. Heidi Stout's, her freestyle looks just like Joanna Evans.
And Joanna, she can do from the, I'm sure she can do the 52, but she goes all the way up to that 800.
She sure does.
Woo!
Turning first. Oop, our first under 29, 28.33.
And that's how she goes 58, guys. Look at her extending.
Well, and we know she has that back end speed.
Yeah, she does. Yeah,
so
it's all up to Alexandra to try and get close enough to Stout. She wants to get a good time, to get a good lane for this afternoon. Gibson from Bahamas in lane 4 is trying to go with them, but she's being challenged by Mackenzie from Bahamas again in lane 7.
Oh, man.
Under a minute. Under. Ooh.
58.21 by Heidi.
Heidi is going after that record, and she is not waiting until tonight to get it.
And it looks like we have lane 2 at a minute .08. I didn't even see them.
Wow.
Oh, nope, sorry. They have corrected it. Okay. I was
Heidi
like, wow.
Stout from Barbados, 58-1. We saw her yesterday on that relay.
Oh, yeah.
Really dominate and catch up the rest of the field to get second. We're going to look and see what split she did last night on that relay, because 58-1 is fantastic, and she is .22 away from the record.
Alia, I don't think those 104s are going to make it.
No. No.
Wow, that was a fast heat. 13, 14 boys, 3 heats of this. Connor Hutman, lane 6. Jaden Mills. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. These guys are going out strong. There are 3 heats. So very similar to the first, the ladies, they're going to have to go out fast if they want to make it to finals.
And our sponsor for this 100 freestyle is Alive Fiber. Get access to your favorite streaming apps, channels, and unlimited calling, all at lightning speeds. Thank you, Alive, for being a sponsor of these CARIFTA games.
26-8 by Connor from Bermuda. We saw him dominate the 200 free, coming in second. We saw him in that backstroke earlier today. Wow. He's being challenged definitely by Jaden Mills from Trinidad. Look at these guys go.
Lane 7, Bahamas is also, lane 6, lane 7. What on earth?
To the touch. Beautiful touch for Connor with a 55.73.
And second, Lennon Hamilton out of the Bahamas at a 56.12. Third place, 56.57.
You know, if his best time is that 57, Connor's having a fantastic meet. Dropping 2 seconds in the prelims on your second event of the night, of the day. Wow. 55. Fantastic swim.
Heat 2, on the blocks here, about to get ready. Fastest seed is Jonathan out of Trinidad and Tobago with a 56.14. So did he see that 55 just now and said,
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I guess I'm going to best time.
I'm guessing this is the way it's gonna go. Wow. Out in a 26.8 for Connor. We're gonna see these guys try and get faster. Look at that long stroke in lane 7. What are your thoughts on that?
I've seen a couple of people have a really dominant freestyle there. You have to be very strong to have that slower tempo gallop freestyle.
Yeah.
Lane 3 here with
Anthony from Aruba.
His just beautiful freestyle. He's doing a little bit of a catch-up freestyle there.
Look at Davis in lane 6. He was with them at the 50. By the 75, he said, no, I'm not staying with you guys anymore. I have to make it into finals. Look at him going in 55.7 from the previous heat. It's going to be a little bit slower with a 56.91. Wow.
57.97 for second, or 57.19. And third, 58.12.
Wow, what is fantastic, right? Connor was top seed in that 200 free. He ended up coming second, just a little bit by the next heat from Jamaica, and Jamaica has that top spot with 55.81. So Connor knew if he wanted redemption in this 100 free, he had to at least go faster than the seed time of the fastest heat.
Absolutely, and that first heat is crushing it. I mean, it looks like third place in that first heat was 56.57.
Yeah.
Our fastest fastest swim just now was 56.91.
Yeah. Second heat is going to be in trouble. Last heat in the water, we have Jamaica right beside each other in lane 5 and 4. We have Matthew Kennedy and Nolan Barrett. Connor was out in a 26.5 from the first heat. We're going to see these guys flipping.
26.99, it looks like.
It's all about this last 50.
Just a tenth of a second slower than what Connor went out in.
Yep.
Victor Ashby, goggleless Ashby in lane 6.
Oh, he's moving. He is making his move. Ashby is getting into the mix, followed very closely by Chopin from Suriname. Ooh, who has it left in the tank? It's going to be Jamaica versus Jamaica. Into the wall. They're going to be close. And it is Jamaica. Matthew Kennedy with 56.07. 0.02 ahead of his teammates. Nolan Barrett with a 56.09. And third, it is Barbados.
Goggleless Ashby
with a 57.04. Look at that. Connor, top seed from heat 1.
Alia, I don't know that we are going to see very many people from that second heat into the final.
No. Look at that.
Fourth place was a 57.45. We might only see 1 or 2, maybe 1.
These guys, it is a third day, right? It is a morning session. You may feel like you're comfortable, but this is where races are won or lost.
Yep.
You can't go easy going into the wall.
You cannot go easy into the wall. Wow. We have the 15-17 ladies getting ready behind the blocks now. 3 heats.
We do have a no-show. Oh.
Looks like lane 8, Davia Richardson is not in the race, as well as lane
6 wasn't on the board anyway. We have lane 5, Tilly Collymore. We saw her in that 200 free. It's really great to see this 100, to see the difference. Yes, he can do a 50. Yes, he can do a 200. The 100 is different.
Yep.
You really have to change your tempo to really see how much you give in that first 50 and how much you can bring it back.
Lane 5, Tilly Collymore turning first at a 28.75.
Nice. She's the only one in this heat has gone under a minute so far. And we have Leah Chin in lane 4 right beside her. She wanted to go with her, but Tilly is turning up the heat.
I heard Leah talking to her coach just before her warm-up, really wanting to go under that minute mark today.
Yeah.
She's going to have to go really hard into this wall. Look at lane number 3. Oh, my gracious.
59.27 for Tilly Collymore from Grenada. Fantastic swim.
Second place, Leah Chin, 1 minute 64.
Yeah.
So close to under that I'm fairly certain that we will see her again. A minute .90 by Williamson out of the Bahamas for third place.
If these ladies go the times they have on the board, it may take a 59 to get it into finals.
Ooh.
If they go the time.
Wow, I mean, wow.
This is the start of heat 2 of 3 of the girls 15-1700 freestyle.
We have Bella House. We saw her yesterday in that 200 freestyle.
Yes, coming in. Oh, this is a sister.
This is the older sister. She was in the final, so maybe the 100 is her stronger one. It looks like she is entered.
58.33, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great time.
Yeah, that 200 may have been just a little bit long
I
for her.
feel that, Bella. I feel you.
She's going to go out strong, flipping first.
28.55, just a little bit faster than that first heat.
Right beside her. In lane 6, it is Ferguson, the backstroke specialist we saw from yesterday. She is changing up and switching it for this freestyle leg.
I tell you what, guys, the sun is beating down on us today.
It is burning.
Yesterday, Ali and I had goosebumps up here.
Yeah.
Now I am pouring sweat.
This is when these athletes need to be hydrating.
Yep.
Coming in, it's going to be a close one. Ooh.
59.
59.
Wow, what a finish there by lane number 4.
Antigua.
From Antigua, 59.90.
Liddy flipped third at that 50.
Wow.
And she came back so strong. Great touch for her. Only two swimmers so far under that minute. So it looks like Chin in Heat 1 will have a great chance of getting into that final. But we have Heat 3.
We have Harper Bowerman, 59.52. Jillian Crooks, 55.18. I need a moment. And Marley House, her sister just swam. She is at a 59.37. We could see the fastest heat across the board here.
Yeah, it
in this
really
final
depends
heat.
who wants to go out with them. And honestly, if I was in the outside lanes and I know it's going to take a 59 or a minute, I would be trying to go out with Harper and Crooks.
Right, and Jillian's freestyle, just
look at that.
Phenomenal. Beautiful freestyle there. Looks like she's breathing every 2 a little bit.
Yeah.
Took a breath into the wall.
27, out in a 27.62. Look at that. She is extending away from the rest of the pack. It is Harper trying to hold on for that third position, followed by Hennis from St. Vincent. Wow.
What, I mean, Jillian Crooks, we heard that she had a little bit of...
Oh, that straight arm in the last 5.
Excuse
me. Look at that straight arm.
57.02.
57.02 for Jillian Crooks to get that win. Everybody else is a minute. Everybody else is a minute.
A minute. Harper Bowerman just missed going under there.
Wow.
So we are going to see a great race probably tonight.
It's going to be 57,
for
59,
second place.
59, and the rest of the heat is going to be minutes.
Wow.
And the 59s are pretty high.
Yeah. I mean,
wow. Second and third. I mean, it's going to be close. Jillian is.
I do believe Jillian came back in a 29.
Yeah.
27.62 out.
Did you not see that straight arm in the last 5? Wow. That for me straight arm was always a survival. So when I was dead in that 100, that straight arm came out.
Get me to the wall.
Touch, 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 touch.
3 heats here of the men's 15-1700 freestyle.
If you see that record, 50.07 by Nikolai Blattman, he went on to win the junior championships on that 50 freestyle. He is currently in college and doing really well. Out it is Tristan with a 25.57 from St. Lucia. Beautiful spin for him. We're going to see these guys trying to do the catch-up game.
Look at the strokes. Lane number 5, that is a gorgeous freestyle. He's really getting full extension in front and behind, but look at lane number...
Lane 2, Ethan from Martinique.
Wow, what an amazing swim there. 52.87 from Dorville to take the first spot.
Wow. Martinique coming in lane 3, Ethan with a 53.06. And Aruba Ina with a 53.90. Nice.
54.05 probably isn't going to be enough.
It's going to be a close one. It really depends on this next two heats. It could be similar to the girls, where the second heat did not go as fast. But, I mean, it's the men's 100 free. Anything can happen.
And there is a
Very true. Oh, no.
for event number 85, heat 1, lane 8.
False start by Bermuda there. Brandon Adkins disqualified. I think it could only be a false start.
I think so.
I'm not really sure how else you get disqualified in 100 free.
Unless you move and do backstroke. Not backstroke, but like the Ryan Lochte underwater.
Yeah, you flip over on your back and do kicks on your back.
We did say it was
legal.
faster, but it's now not legal.
They saw him do it and they said, nope, 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 nope.
That is way too much of an advantage.
Yep. Heat 2 on the blocks here. Alia, check out these names.
Lane 5, we've seen him before in those relays. He
Liam
went out
Carrington.
51s easily on those relays. 200 free, fantastic as well. We're going to see what he wants to do in this morning session and who's going to go with him. Lane 7, a stroke ahead. It is Malcolm from Jamaica. He's going to try and take that early lead, but 5 yards left. Everybody wants to turn
They're
first.
not letting him pull away that easy. Flip it. Oh my gosh, look at that. 25.31, 25.40, 25.42. Wow.
And you know, Liam is pretty short in comparison to James right beside him. So to come in and stay with him, he needs to get pretty high. Wow.
I'm going to say this
pretty
once
far.
and I'm going to say it twice and I'm going to say it a million times. You don't have to be tall
You
to
do
be a
not.
good sprinter.
We have 52.02
Wow.
for Allison in the morning from Cayman. We've seen him do 51s. We wanted to see how fast he was going to go in the morning. 52.02.
52.49 for second and 52.67 for third.
Nice. Look at that. 52 is top 7.
52.67.
Where is it?
52.91 for
There it is.
fourth.
Yep. So top 5 is
Fast.
under 54.
Oh my gosh. What a fast heat there. I mean, we had 52.87 in the first heat, 53.06, 53.90. That 53.90 might not even make it.
Wow. Ooh, one more heat to go.
Our final heat here, Marvin Johnson, Alia,
Nice.
Antoine Destang,
There it is. Nice.
Christian Jerome from Haiti, Zachary Anthony. Oh my goodness. So I talked with Marvin Johnson's father this morning. Marvin is a relay swimmer
Yes.
through and through.
Yes.
He loves getting up and representing his team, but he is also a very strong 100 freestyler.
25.77 for the stand from St. Lucia. We saw him dominate earlier today, and he's back again. And this is where Marvin Johnson shines.
Yep. That
Time
back
to play
half.
catch up.
That back half, he really is just coming.
Honestly, between the Stang and Allison, it's not going to work if he's behind.
Nope. And Destang is really just pulling away here.
Ooh,
52.54.
Beautiful swim for him. Marvin Johnson coming in for that second position with a 53.68.
Uh-oh.
And 53.99 for Zachary Anthony from Trinidad.
Yeah, I mean, we had 4 52s in that second heat.
Yep.
We had a 52.87 in the first heat, 53.06 and 53.90.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Marvin does have the top seed with a 50.41. However,
That 53.68 is going to be on the bubble.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So we have the 18 and over ladies, 2 of these heats on the block now. Sherelle Thompson did tell me she's doing her 50.
She's doing her 50 split for this.
And then just finishing.
There she goes.
Look at her go.
Look at that tempo.
She told me she takes one breath around 35 meters. She was a little bit worried since there aren't any walkers on the bottom. Look at that speed.
Wow.
There's the first breath. Get into the wall, Sherelle. Get in there. Come on. Come
At
on.
least a 25, 26 in this.
26.14.
26.14, not too bad. I would have loved if she touched and flipped and then just went.
No, and I was talking to her before. I have done this before, that first 50 for a time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. This second 50, so painful.
Oh my gosh. We're going to see lane 5, Sabrina Lynn, now taking it in more of a control swim with 12 and a half left to go. Alia Heaven from Jamaica right beside her. they're going to go together trying to get that 1-2 in this prelim swim. But it is Sabrina Lynn with a 59.11 for the win in this event. Coming in second, it is Alia Heaven with a 0060. And third, it is Bianca Mitchell from Antigua with a 101.48.
Great swim by Sabrina Lynn just now at that 59.11. It is hot out here, so really great to see her get that 59.11, get in under a minute, and she will get another lane this afternoon.
There are 2 heats.
Yep, so exciting. We have the second heat in the water now. It looks like Madeline Moore actually scratched this 100 freestyle. I was looking forward to watching her swim.
Interesting tactic. Coming in, we have Sabrina holding on for that top spot from heat 1. But these ladies already saw what she did. They know what it takes to make finals.
Really beautiful freestyle there in lane 7. Charlemagne out of St. Lucia.
And we spoke about Charlemagne, about what she's doing now. She's actually having her master's from Yale, and she's swimming to try and make her second Olympics.
Absolutely insane.
Coming up, it is Logan from Bermuda that's trying to move away from Michaeli. Look at that extension.
100 freestyle Olympic cut, 53.88 for women.
So I'm going to talk about that. Coming in, it is 57.98. Nice, good swim for Logan in that second heat. I actually did some research for this moment. So the Olympic times, if you wanted to know how they find these times, the A cut is the 14th fastest time that you've done in prelims. Not semifinals or finals, prelims. So top 14, that time is now the new A cut for the next Olympic Games. The B cut is 0.5% slower than that time.
Wow.
I can't imagine.
So if you have an A cut, pretty much gonna make that semifinal.
That's what they're saying, basically.
And we have heat number 1 of 2 for the 18 and over boys. We have Alex Sobers in lane 8, who we just talked to. He is more of a distance swimmer, but let me tell you, he has, look at that speed. Wow.
He already said that he's going to leave and get back because he has work. These are the disadvantages of being older and wanting to swim, but the financial, it's not there sometimes.
It's not
opportunities.
It is not cheap. 24.66, flipping first by Alex.
He's not going to have an evening swim, so he definitely wants to go out and give it his best in this morning swim. 51.49 in his time.
And lane 5, we have Stefano Mitchell going with him here. But it looks like it really is going to be all Sobers here into
It'll be really
touch.
Great if he did that 51. Oh, yes! That is a good swim for him in this morning session. 50.74.
What an amazing race by him this morning.
Nice. And we spoke about earlier, he is bringing it down just a little bit. I can imagine the training sessions for a 400 and an 800. Yeah. So to have that off his shoulder and focus on the 100 and the 200 must be a huge relief as he gets older. Wow.
So as a Bahamian swimmer, I have a little bit more insight into the Bahamians and what their plan is. So Lamar Taylor here coming up in heat 2, lane 5, is trying to make his Olympic cut for the men. It is a 48.58. He's not quite there yet, but we might see it. Phenomenal underwater there.
This, it's what we spoke about. If he wants to make it, he has to try everything in the morning. Yep. See what he can do to fix it for this afternoon.
And Alia, he just got out of yard swimming. This is amazing.
Look at that kick.
Freestyle, first 50 he has here. Jeez. He is turning at 23.34. Wow.
It would have been great if he got a little bit tighter into that wall, but that was smooth. Look at him.
And he's maintaining that speed. He is getting a little bit slower with his tempo, but still really strong freestyle. He is just pulling away from the rest of the group. He's about 2 body lengths on the rest of the team. Come on.
Right there is the cut. Oh, he's going to
49.65. Wow.
Nice.
Amazing swim by Lamar there. to get that top seed. He does have another swim this evening.
Yes.
To do it again.
Yeah.
About a second off of the B cut here for the Olympics.
Beautiful swim for him. It'd be really great if he had Alex beside him who did that 50.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the next fastest time, he's going to have to swim his own race once again.
He will, but he did it just now.
Yeah.
Really, I think that turn, you called it. It was a little bit slow, loose of a turn.
Yeah.
Tighten that up, and that could be the
He's
difference.
right there. Yeah. Coming up next, it is girls 13-14, 200 butterfly.
Ick. Ick. Yeah.
So we spoke about these 200s. It is not a sprint, but it's not necessarily a distance. It's all about that tempo and your pace. For breaststroke and butterfly, it's all about your stroke count. I cannot stress enough. Kids, do you know your stroke count? You can definitely tell where you are in your race strategy if you stay to your tempo and your stroke count.
So just counting through, looks like there's 12 ladies in this 13-14. So only 4 of these ladies will not make it back. Does that change the way that you do this race?
I think so. Maybe you can be a little bit more aggressive in that first 100 and then look to see what's happening in the race. And then maybe call it in that last 25. But these ladies are going for it. It's the 200 fly.
I'm trying to check and see if we have any doubles. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we
Jaya
have Simmons. Yup.
2 IM.
And then we have Lewis again. We have Mathilde from Martinique.
Jeez Louise.
We have Malaya from Martinique as well in this heat. In lane 5, she's gonna a very relaxed stroke for her. She's not really using her legs. I'm not sure about that. It could be because she's tired, but that seems like not the best strategy.
So
I would think.
Looking at this 2 fly, you want to try and stay probably arguably the best 200 butterflyer I've ever seen in person, Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
You don't see a difference in up and down in his fly. He is able to stay very flat.
Yes.
When you do dive down, you're just wasting energy pulling your body back up to the surface.
Yeah.
Is it more exhausting to do it?
For sure.
Yes.
Aruba going out with a 1:17.29 for Genesis. I think that's a really great swim. We're going to see her trying to hold her lead. Something that I wanted to mention the other day, and I think the 200 fly is a perfect way to do it. In order to generate that momentum, you really have to have that chest.
Yep.
You need to throw that chest down.
Yep.
But at what point is it throwing your chest down versus I'm going up and down too much?
Do you know, the last time I swam the 200 butterfly, I'm fairly certain it was the last time I swam it, was in Mexico City.
Ooh.
At altitude.
Ooh.
I only finished 100. They
You
had to
did
pull
not.
me out of the pool. Alia, I thought I was going to die.
It's altitude too.
It was like the first day, I think, so we hadn't really adjusted to the altitude.
No.
I touched at the 100.
Yeah.
And I made a decision in my head. I was like, I'm not going to make it. And I don't want to be in the middle of the pool
I'm not doing it.
to not make it.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful swim for lane 5, Malia. She was a little bit behind. We saw her really conserving her legs that first 100, and now she is putting that to the test.
And lane 4, Cassidy Coles, really, I was a little bit worried about her stroke, but it looked like she was able to make that work for her to finish.
I'm wondering if she was the butterflyer we saw last night on the relay. Her tempo was a bit slower, but if she's a 200 fly specialist,
That makes sense.
it does. Wow.
244 for 243.72 for first place.
Yeah.
244.56 second place, and third 246.94.
Beautiful swim for these ladies. We have lane 8 coming in. It is very difficult at that end of the 2 fly. When your arms are tired, it looks like, look, it doesn't seem like she's far from the wall, but in her head, it feels like forever.
That feels like you're never gonna finish this race.
Oh my gosh, fantastic swim for her. Oh, beautiful. Round of applause from the spectators for her finishing that race. Not many people could do that.
Unlike me, she finished.
Oh man, I really do have to give it up to these athletes, because at 2 fly, you definitely need to have that core, but the flexibility, I feel like, for your shoulders to not go up and down, to have that chest throw, but still keep it very leveled on top of the water, you need to stretch those arms. And I haven't seen these athletes stretching. This is heat 2 of 2.
Simmons and Lewis have already done the 2 IM.
Yeah. Simmons is really having a really, it's a tough day today.
Yeah.
For her.
Wow.
I'm going to assume she's going to be on that 800 freestyle relay because she's an all-around superstar.
I'm really hoping for her sake that goes straight to finals. Oh, it is? Okay.
It is. So tonight she'll have a lot of fun.
Okay.
Going out, it is Simmons for that early lead in lane 5. Lewis is going to stay with her, taking it really nice and relaxed with a 33.98 for Simmons. For these ladies, you're going to want to try and get into a rhythm really early and try and maintain that for as long as possible.
I'm seeing a little bit more upward movement from Leah than I would like to see in a 2 fly.
Yeah.
Again, you don't want to be using energy to pull your body up. Your body is screaming at you to get oxygen, and the higher you come, the more you feel like you can get air, but you're really just wasting energy.
So Lewis is definitely going to try and overtake Simmons for this first 100 split. But take a look at Lewis's stroke. She's going to turn at a 113. The previous heat turned at a 117. So she's definitely going to be trying. Ooh, nice. Simmons is trying to push away from Lewis. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, really holding the stroke together well. Both Lewis and Simmons look like they are very much in control of their butterfly.
So
here.
Take a look at Lewis's stroke. I know I said flexibility is important, but look at Lewis's. As she's entering in, her palms are facing left and right. If you have a strong shoulder, great. If not, you can definitely see some fatigue and stress on that shoulder if she keeps doing that.
Definitely. I used to swim butterfly like that.
Yeah.
And when I was moving into my college time and moving it more into a 100 fly, talking about you want to have more of almost a freestyle catch in the butterfly.
Yes.
Both arms simultaneously.
Yeah.
Does it feel good?
Yeah.
No, but you really do develop like a really great shoulder strength to be able to do that.
Yeah, and you can see Simmons, she's moving away from the rest of the pack. Her arms are at the side, and right before she's about to enter, she turns her fingertips in just a little bit to have the most efficient catch.
Right, if you're catching from the outside with your hands out, I'm doing it like you guys can see my hands right now. I am tired. If you do it to your hands outside, you aren't going to catch as much water as you do if you are cupping your hand in the front of you.
Ooh, 238. Nice job for Simmons in this morning session. Coming in for that second position, it is Lewis with that 244.39. And third from Martinique, Mathilde with a 246.99. Nice swim this morning, ladies.
Top 3 going into the finals tonight, it seems like.
Yeah.
Or rather, I'm sorry, 243 from this morning will be the second seed.
Yeah.
Going into the 13-14 200 fly for the gentleman, Sean Fraser, record holder, 210.
He's got 2 records
Sean,
still.
Calm down.
2 records, Sean. All right. We're going to see William Farrington in A3. We saw him in that 1500, that 200 breaststroke.
So I have
50 breaststroke.
I have a funny story about William.
They're about to get up on the block to start heat 1 of 2.
So before I tell my story about William, want to thank BHM, our sponsor for this 200 butterfly. BHM is the #1 provider in the Bahamas for infrastructural solutions, roads, airports, ports, marines, and water projects, concrete and asphalt. Thank you, BHM, for being our sponsor. So William. I listened to his Ariel Weish that is on the Bahamas team having to push William to get in and warm up. Turning first here, Aaron at Trinidad and Tobago at a 30.86.
Nice. That is quick.
And William just didn't want to get in, and we now see him. I said, if you don't warm up for that 2 fly, that's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. He found the 50 breaststroke.
And he said, oh, I'm warming up for the 50 breaststroke. Sir.
It's a 50.
Those are different races.
It's a 50. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We have a race coming in for this first 100 split. It's going to be close. And it is Ocean for a 106.63 and Aaron with a 106.76.
We also had a chance to talk to Ocean's mom last night.
Yeah.
Ocean's name came from the fact that she was able to sail in the Atlantic with her husband and just fell in love with the ocean, hence the name Ocean. And his little brother's name is Shine.
Shine. Because the way and the path for them was just shining and so bright on the ocean. I'm like, I love names with meanings. And she definitely put a lot of work into that.
Yes.
When she had her kids.
143, Aaron Sewell turning first here in that 200 butterfly.
Wow, Aaron is definitely trying to extend his lead, making sure Ocean from Aruba is not going to catch him. Beautiful extension in the end of this 200 butterfly. Look at him. Nice. You love to see a swimmer with that much control.
Wow.
And power at the end of a two-fly.
He just pulled away.
Look at that.
Sorry, nice. Ocean, I'm gonna go. Or I'm sorry, that is Ocean. 2:18.96.
Beautiful for him.
Entered with a 2:25, Alia.
Yeah. Yeah.
What on earth? Second place. Don't think that is correct. It looks like for whatever reason Aaron's time didn't register, so we will have to wait and see if they update that. There we go. 2:21.88 for second place.
Yeah. Coming in third, it is Cayman Islands. Luke Higo with a 2:30.57. That was interesting. So 106 the fastest time. He came back in a 1:12. Essentially, that's 36s.
Whew.
Really nice split across the board for him.
And then Luke Higo out there in lane 8. Nobody saw him.
You love that outside swim.
Oh, we have Goggleless Ashby.
2-fly Goggleless Ashley. Wow.
Ali and I got to watch Goggleless Ashby challenge former Bayesian Olympian
Martin Ford
to a 50 freestyle.
I love it. I love
Goggleless.
it. I love it because you have all these people, all these athletes who have went to the international scene, really dominated and represented their countries, and to see them now being an influence to the next generation, not just, oh, I saw her on TV, I saw him, being there in person for an athlete to come up to you and be like, I want to challenge you, let's go. And shockingly, Martin is close to 40 and he accepted the challenge.
31.86 for that first 50.
And it was fantastic. I love the confidence that he had. He said, you know what? Martin Ford used to be a record holder in that 100 free, but he's old. I'm young. I can beat him.
Martin held his own.
He really did. I was very proud of that race.
If a Bahamas swimmer asked me to do that, the answer is no.
Absolutely not.
And I'm 34.
Absolutely not. Not
actually, maybe if I did a little bit of training, which I won't do.
Coming in his lane 5, Simmons with a 1:09.38.
3 seconds slower than that previous heat.
Yeah.
So probably won't quite see that 2:18 time unless he is able to do basically a even split here.
Yes, come back again in a 1:09.
Would be absolutely absurd.
Wow. And it's great when you have somebody else going out for it, because I felt like Ocean decided to stay very close to Aaron. And in the back end, he's like, you know what? I have some more in me. I'm just going to go. And it worked out for him with that 2:18. Wow. We have Simmons really pulling away from the rest of the pack. He's going to turn first at that 150.
149.28 by Simmons, really just dominating this entire heat from start to finish.
Lane 8 is holding his own for that second position, but not for long. We have Ashby in lane 6 making his move.
Here comes Goggleless.
He sees Simmons in his sights and he says, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
Can he see him?
I hope so. Look at Ashby.
Wow, what a back end.
Wow.
And lane 4 here.
Look at all of them trying to catch right up. Simmons sees him now.
Goggleless Ashby, 2:28.48.
Simmons saw Ashby coming, but didn't realize he was that close until the last 2 strokes. But it wasn't enough because Ashby was coming in fast. 2:28.48 for Ashby from Barbados. Coming in second, it is Bahamas Simmons with a 2:28.78, and third, Hazen from St. Vincent with a 2:29.45.
So we had 2:18 by Ocean
10
this morning.
seconds.
Or in that previous heat.
10 seconds.
We are not going to see the ladies 15-17 this morning. They're going to go
Ooh.
straight to finals.
That's
Bless
fun.
whoever decided to scratch that event.
I'm sure they're ecstatic. Ecstatic.
So we are now in the 15 and over 200 butterfly. It is 15 and over because we do have a 19-year-old from Barbados, Jake, in lane 9. We actually have 16-year-old Ethan Stubbs faster at a 2:06.
Nice. Ethan Stubbs from Antigua. And it's really, it's fantastic. You have Ethan Stubbs from Antigua. You have Martinique. These guys are getting their hands on the wall really fast and making it into finals and getting medals.
Awards for relays from last night.
Wow. Beautiful stroke for him. Ethan's going to try and take out that early lead. Zachary Anthony, we saw his name earlier on the schedule today. He's going to be back again for this 200 butterfly.
I am looking behind the blocks and into the ready room to see if the boys 800 freestyle relay is getting prepared. I know that it is close to being scratched if they have one person back, or one team rather, back out.
There are people there, but it will be Ethan with a 0094 to set the tone for that first 100.
Wow. What?
Wow.
So Ethan is breathing every stroke.
Yeah.
It is a little bit high for my liking, but if you have the strength.
Ooh, you can see the fatigue setting in now. The hesitation when he gets into the water for that pull.
We're going to see how fatigued he is on this turn.
Lane 4, Kimani from Martinique is definitely using this to his advantage.
A little bit slower of a turn by Ethan. Looked like he was just trying to take a little bit of a break on that wall.
Yeah, you can, oh, look at that power.
Wow.
He is coming in strong. He was out in a 00. The record is a 205. Essentially, if he comes back strong in a 105 low or a 104, he could have it. Maybe not this morning, but definitely tonight.
I think if he turned on the gas a little bit sooner,
Yeah.
he really could be challenging for that win.
Ooh, definitely.
2:10.83.
For Ethan from Antigua, coming in second from Martinique, it is Kamani with a 2:13.17. And coming in for that third spot, it is Asher Johnson. Ooh, Johnson. With a 2:18.67. I hear all these last names, and I'm wondering if they're related.
Johnson is quite a popular name here in the Bahamas, so there is no telling.
Maybe not. We have the Higgs. We have Simmons from Barbados. We found out Sobers is related, but there are just so many names.
I will get back to you. I will do some investigative reporting.
I love it. I love
get
it.
back.
Ooh, Daly has a tough schedule today. Okay.
And Christian Jerome.
Look at them.
Oh my gracious.
So it looks like he was just starting slow because he is picking up as the competition moves forward. He had that 2 IM, he had that 50 breast. Now he's back again in this 200 butterfly. He is the top seed with a 204 under the previous record from 2010.
Looks like lane 7 is a scratch here. Jaden out of Aruba.
These turns are, I know it's a 2 fly, but the tighter you are in coming into the wall, the quicker you get your feet off the wall, it will help you for your underwaters and your first stroke.
Absolutely.
But it is a mental game because if you're tired, you're gonna be really slow on that wall. And it is not to your advantage.
It is gonna hurt you.
Oh man, 0094 from the previous heat by Ethan. We're gonna see a little bit slower. A little bit faster. It is Daly with a 0061, 0.3 faster than our previous heat.
Great job getting his hands on the wall for that turn there.
Yeah.
Coming back, I mean, he still looks very much in control of that butterfly. That is a beautiful butterfly. Looks like his pattern is 1 and then 3 breaths in a row.
Yeah.
And then head down for 1, 3 breaths in a row. Excellent pattern.
This is how I would like to see a 200 butterfly swap. You can see the effort increase. maybe not the tempo, but you see the effort increase every,
Very long turn there.
Oh, you can feel the fatigue.
Listen, I tell you what, it is hot out here.
Oh my gosh.
I
It's his
really
third
hope
event.
these athletes are
Yes.
hydrating,
Yes.
not just water, getting some of those electrolytes back in them.
It's going to be a rough one tonight for him in this two fly.
I am sweating and I'm doing nothing. I think a lot of people don't realize that you do sweat while you're swimming and racing.
Very much so. Man, it is Elijah Daly from Bermuda going to take that top spot before. Beautiful race for him with a 2:09.98 to get that top spot in Heat 2. Coming in second, it is Christian Jerome from Haiti with a 2:13.35. And Jaden from Curacao with a 2:13.54.
Relays. We have one heat of relays.
That's going to be a nice swim this afternoon.
Gentlemen for the 800-meter free
So
relay.
we are now waiting to see if the relays are, it looks like they are coming out here from the ready room.
And speaking of relays,
So they are going to have to do this twice.
Relays are going to happen this evening before we begin our
Wow.
first event.
They're going to do the medal ceremonies tonight before we start. So if you did not see the medal ceremonies last night, unfortunately, it will be going before the 6 o'clock start.
At that time,
Definitely check the social media for CARIFTA Bahamas to see those pictures of your swimmers getting their medals.
lane 4.
So we just had a,
93, heat 2, lane 4, disqualification.
oh no, Heat 2, Lane 4, Jayan from Curacao was disqualified.
Ah,
There.
after a two fly.
What an awful feeling.
2:13 was a good time too.
Yeah, he could have gotten a second swim potentially. Oh man.
It's a two fly. Must have been a one-hand touch.
Yep.
Hope it wasn't a false start.
When you're talking,
Islands
God.
is block number 5.
Elia, let's take a look at these lineups. I'm not sure if they stand true here, but we are looking at James Allison, Will Sellers for Cayman Islands, Marvin Johnson for the Bahamas,
Yeah.
Caden Wells, like Jarek Winterthal for Aruba, Dirks for Aruba.
Dirks.
Elijah Daly just got out of the 200 fly. Oh my God.
Same thing with Anthony Zachary from Trinidad.
Elia.
They're doing back-to-backs, and two fly to two free is not the back-to-back I would like to do. Literally, there's no warm down. They're going last, so hopefully they're gonna have, 6 minutes of rest? It's not enough to warm down. It's more of an active recovery right now, stretching, dynamic stretching, maybe shaking it out and hydrating, but
I hope that they
it's gonna hurt.
put somebody else on that.
Going out in lane 5, we will have James Allison. We saw him dominate in that 200 free and the 100 free this morning. That is the start of the boys' event 98, the last event of this morning session. 15-17 200-meter freestyle relay.
Really exciting race, I think. Sometimes it gets a bad rap because it is 4 200s, but it is so exciting because that 200, you end up seeing at the end, we have Marvin Johnson, who we have seen time and time again be the workhorse on the back end. We see that final 200 just turn into an all-out brawl, depending on what the other teams have been doing.
27-3-1 for James from Cayman to take that early lead. We have Bermuda getting into the mix in lane 9. He's going to try and stay with Allison for as long as he can. Thomas knows they're in lane 9. They have to come top 8 to make finals tonight. So why not give it all they have? Coming in for that early 100 split, it is Allison from Cayman Islands with a 57.64. It is a 200, so each athlete will be swimming 4 lengths.
And don't count out lane number 9. Bermuda turned second, I believe. And I don't think Allison can see him.
He's turning towards him, but with that stroke, he's like, you know what? Let me just stay right in front of you. I do trust my teammates, but with that tempo on stroke, I don't think he is that nervous if Bermuda takes the lead. Maybe he's saving it up for the last 50.
So there are only 9 teams in this race. You really only have to beat one team.
Lane 1, Antigua, is slower than the rest of the pack. I don't know if that is going to be a consideration. You do want to have a good lane coming into tonight.
I mean, looking at lane number 3, we have Martinique. Ethan Hyder is going to be doing this in a brief.
Wow.
Bypassing the racing suit.
You know what? Lane 9 definitely wants that fast 200 split. and he is going to do it with a 200. Alice James comes in to untouch lane 9 with a 200.45. He stayed close enough just to hand over first for his team. Wow, lane 9, Aruba is in the mix. They're coming in, holding on for that second position. And it is lane 3, Martinique, holding strong in that third position. You really want to make sure that you at least finish.
Alia, did you see that underwater by lane 3? Beautiful turn there in a 200 freestyle. Again, he's only wearing a brief.
Oh.
And I would like everybody at home to know that that suit is called a brief. Speedo is the brand. If I hear one more person call it a Speedo, I will lose it.
It is such a habit. We're used to it.
It is the equivalent of calling a tissue a Kleenex.
Oh my gosh. So even a Band-Aid. Yep. Band-Aid is a brand. Wow. But we're used to that. And he is in his brief / Speedo for those of you who don't know brief.
I know this is probably going to age me a little bit, but a photocopy is not a Xerox. That is the brand.
Oh my gosh. That is fantastic considering he is in a brief. A brief is when it goes right on the hips to the upper buttocks. A jammer is right above the knees. We used to have the full length skins, which goes down to the ankles, not anymore. But it is a brief and the jammers.
I mean, he's having a great swim in comparison to Cayman Islands there in lane 5. Holding on. You know,
Aruba is getting into the mix, catching up to a Bermuda right beside them in lane 9. They're going to try and get that third position. But look at Martinique. He did a fantastic job to catch up to Cayman Islands.
Do you think Elijah is sitting behind the blocks saying, please, guys, please?
I think so.
Don't make me do too much.
I think so. I remember doing this in CARIFTA and doing back-to-back. And I remember just asking the timekeepers, like, can I have your seat? I just need to sit just a little bit so I can have enough for this 200.
Absolutely insanity.
Look at that easy stroke from Cayman.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, that's a distance freestyler. Who is this?
It really
Will
is.
Sellers.
Well,
okay.
There we go. We've seen his time. This could be potentially a nice warm down. Maybe he's going to build. I feel like the coach said, you know what, let's hold on to that top 3 position. Anywhere in that realm would be really great.
Right. We just want to make sure that we have a middle lane here so that they have a chance this evening.
I mean, look at him. He's looking at Aruba in lane 8 and Bermuda in lane 9. And he's saying, you know what, let me just stay a little bit ahead of them. We have Trinidad now in the mix in lane 7. That's trying to get into that top 3 spot. We're going to see Sellers if he's going to flip and go a little bit faster in the second 100.
So he turned at 5:11.49. Let's see what the second 100 holds. Doesn't look like he's picking the pace up much, if at all.
But you know what? If you look at Bermuda, Trinidad, and Aruba, you can see their tempo. You can see they're moving, but they're not gaining on cells.
I'm a little bit concerned about Aruba's speed here. Again, they only do need to beat one team. And Antigua, while, I mean, absolutely great showing by them, I believe that they're going to be the first team out. So if Aruba's not concerned about their lane.
No. Why not? You just want to make it in.
Why nice additional energy?
Easy stroke for him. I love that Trinidad said, you know what? We're still in the mix. We want to have that middle lane. And they're pushing this third leg to pull back up into second. Wow.
But still, with that slow speed that we have from the Cayman Islands, he still is doing really well.
That Aruba and Bermuda did not catch him. So it must be a testament to his underwater strength as well.
To be fair, look at Zachary Anthony on the blocks.
He just saw that 2 fly.
He was shrugging, looked like he was talking to somebody.
Oh my God. He was probably talking to himself. Like,
guys,
really? This is what you're gonna give me?
Alia, I mean, he just swam a 200 fly. That is not the stroke of somebody that just swam a 200 butterfly.
No, no. Look at the freestyle for lane 4, Jamaica Johnson. His left arm is good. Look at that right arm. Very similar to what we said about that fly. He is entering on the side of his arm by his thumb.
I don't know that is Marvin Johnson.
Probably.
I don't think that's him.
That doesn't look like him. We're going to find out in the last 12 and a half.
Yeah.
Cayman is staying beautifully long. Trinidad now has secured that top 3, so you could see Anthony just taking it nice and easy.
That is a warm down freestyle
It really
stroke
is.
if I've ever seen it.
The top 3 said, you know what, guys, we're okay. It doesn't matter if we're first, second, or third. We're going to start warming it down and hoping the rest of the pack does not catch me.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, why waste that extra energy? Zach Andre from Jamaica was in the 2-fly. Wait, did I look at that wrong? I did look at that wrong. Just kidding. No, yeah. He is that anchor leg for Jamaica in lane 4 as well. And he literally just swam in heat 2 of that 200 fly.
Look at them. Lane 3, Martinique. Can you imagine? He's like, you know what? I'm taking this really nice. I'm going to change and hit the bus after this. I don't need to warm down, guys. Trinidad and Cayman is just staying stroke for stroke.
They're going to have a lane. So, wow.
Nice.
I mean,
nice. Aruba is moving nicely into that 4th position. Bermuda for that 5th position. They're going to move in later tonight, which is really great because they were in lane 9.
Kimani Bellinger, if that is him, I think it is just current pulling him into the water. Head up finish. He did finish the race.
Beautiful for Martinique to win from lane 3 with an 8:27.68.
Look, a little bit of speed going into the finish there. You know, those other teams coming into the wall now messed around, and Antigua really caught up there towards the end. They will be the 9th place team, but really great race. I think that'll be a really exciting race tonight. They will have a little bit more time with the awards from the 200 butterfly.
Yeah.
But not. Oh, and then I guess we'll have the other age group, so they will have a lot more time.
Yes.
So
we're gonna see this change up, be completely different tonight for the finals. Martinique coming in with that top spot with 8:27.68. In that 2nd position, it is Trinidad with the 8:33.54, and Cayman with an 8:33.55, 0.01. It went down to the touch. I mean, might as well have some fun at the end, right?
100th of a second.
Might as well.
Wow.
Beautiful. That wraps up the morning session here of day 3. We're going to see you later on tonight. Once again, we have 1,500 finals for the women, 200 individual medley, 50 breaststroke, 100 freestyle, 200 butterfly, and we're going to end with a lot more relays on that 800 freestyle relay tonight. Wow.
I am so excited. I feel like I've said this every day, but we are looking at, we are going to see some insane grit this afternoon. Riley Watson in that women's 200 IM. She's doing the 1,500. Won't have much time.
Not at all. I'm looking forward. We've seen these athletes numerous times. We feel like we know them. We're going to see a fantastic race tonight between Liam, Allison, and Marvin and Anthony. There's so many names. There's too many names in that 100 freestyle.
It is a star-studded.
Star-studded. What we know for sure is that if there is enough room after that first 50, Marvin may not catch them.
No, I mean, he's gonna have to take out a fast 50 free or first 50 there to really put it in and get on the podium.
And we have the Stang right beside him and Allison. We have Allison right beside him, so we know that they're going to take it out fast, and it really is anybody's race. But thank you so much for joining us. We're going to see you later on today. Hopefully we have more records. We're going to have some Olympic trials that they're going to try and catch. So definitely stay tuned and look forward to seeing you again this afternoon. I am Ali Atkinson.
And I am Ariana Vanderpool-Wallace, national record holder.
We will see you later today.
Thanks so much for joining us.